as I get there safe, like I really don't care. Like,
well, that's what submission is. That's what submission is that you
down that I think everybody is at some point deserving to receive love and to be even into marriage if they do aspire for marriage.
I believe that society shapes how we view things and how we look at things in our life.
Make your own bed. That's basically what Kevin Samuels is saying. His delivery is what people kind of throws people off. But basically,
aggressive or like violent, like where I think toxic masculinity is
no offense to men, that they also get this idea that, you know, women are just going to take care of them and everything is going to be like easy.
A domestic violence shelter, and he brought her up to be, you know, a $25,000.
Hell yeah, you need to judge in dating. It is what it is. You know, you can't not judge people just because you feel bad about it. Like, you need to know.
As much as I love my daughter, there are some harsh realities and some things that her mother and I teach her in order to help her to understand.
Like, I'm sure everyone knows a woman that, you know, had sex at the table.
What's going on? Welcome back to CKQ Podcast. I'm your host, Clement. And if you're here, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. My usual panelists are not here, but they'll show up at some point. So while they're, I guess, making their way over here, let's start the conversation. Today, I want to talk about something that I've recently noticed. There's a lot more push for less religion in this culture that we're in right now. I'm not too sure where it's going or where it's coming from, but I definitely want to talk about it. Do we think that religion is beneficial to the human existence? It's a tough question, because I like to think that that's where a lot of our morality comes from. That's where it comes into play for a lot of us. But that's something we can learn from our parents too. You know, we can easily just grow up kind of seeing or hearing a lot of these things and just copy it and go along with it. But greetings. I see you over here, Alex. Shout out to you, man. Thanks. You're born in the Nation of Islam. That's cool, man. But think religion. Do you think religion is beneficial to the human existence? I mean, we could say, is all religion beneficial to the human existence? Me myself, I'm Christian. I'm not too sure if I was. Neek is the night. How you doing? Probably working on putting things together. No worries. But today I kind of want to tackle the issue of religion and its importance in this society, if it actually plays an importance in this society at all. The question that I'm going to be posing to everyone when everyone gets here is, do you think religion is beneficial to the human existence? I like to think it is. But I'm also questioning it. Is it beneficial because of a moral standpoint, But a moral standpoint, we can all gain our morals from our parents, you know, we can gain it from how we grew up. What importance does religion play in most people's lives, I guess? I'm not too sure about that one. But let's start off with a video then. Oops, did I? I got rid of it. All right, we're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna start with this video. Fair use, fair use.
Welcome to Estonia. Welcome to the least religious country in the world. Are you religious?
No. No.
Because I heard in Estonia people are very little religious.
That's true.
We believe Estonia are not religious.
Maybe it's because of our Soviet past.
Are you religious?
Not really, no.
I heard a lot of Estonians they're not religious.
No.
Why do you think it's like that?
I think it was probably from the upbringing. So none of the Estonians really have that religious upbringing.
The people of Estonia are not very religious. Many of them are atheists. Yes, you will meet religious persons.
Unique.
Oh, okay. Oh.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. You're setting up?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
done. It's done.
It's done?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that everybody can hear me yet, but it's on.
Okay, well, take your time. I'm gonna keep, free rolling and spitting off the top of the dome what I got. Well, really just kind of commenting on what I'm looking at.
It said that they wasn't too religious in Estonia. Was that Russia?
Estonia or Westonia?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I never heard of that country. It's just country by itself, or is it in another country? Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Hi. Doing well. How are you?
Amazing. Let's see. Religion still exists. It's just that there's so many now that unless it's one of the recognized names like Catholic or Pentecost or some other big name, nobody recognizes it as being a real religion. Is there a need for so many religions though? I mean, the fact that we have so many different religions, like, you know what, Chris, the question to you, while Unique is finishing setting up, so spotlight's on you. Do you think religion is beneficial to the human existence?
Yes. Generally, I think it is. I think it sets standards for a lot of communities.
Okay.
And I think standards are always beneficial for human existence. I think that you have to, at some point, understand what is going to increase your likelihood of surviving as a species. And I think at times religion was pretty good when it came to that, promoting marriages and not killing each other, not stealing from each other, right? Not putting yourself in situations where you will probably die.
Yeah.
And then trying to build a great generation moving forward. So keeping those things in mind, I think it is beneficial.
But what about I guess if you just had, why not just laws? Why not just laws instead of just religion? Because isn't that what religion essentially just is?
No. So depending on religion, but most religions give you free will, right? And that's what's important. Like even though they have standards and they seem a little bit inflexible sometimes, free will and being able to choose whether or not you basically want to be a good person is very important, right? I think you should only give a human so much control. The idea of religion is that it's not in the hands of the human beings, it's in the hands of the Lord or whoever they say, sent the message.
So then it's always beneficial to have something outside of yourself as a higher guiding. Really?
Not always, but when it comes to flawed humans deciding things, typically people with too much power become corrupt, right?
Okay.
And so you don't really want that much power in the hands of someone that's flawed, which everyone is flawed.
I don't know.
You're not picking up something down.
I'm not picking it up. I'm not picking it up too much, honestly. I'm getting a little lost. Like, well, I do understand the idea that yes, religion is good for the betterment of people, or the ordering, the keeping people together in order. But I just don't see how laws couldn't just do the same thing.
Would you want laws to do the same thing to that extent? Like, would you? So I guess what I don't know what you would call it. What like commandments or whatever you would call it that you only see in like religious texts would you like to see as law that you don't today?
What commandment
or
would be
rule or standard
would be something that is seen as
that you would like to see as law today that isn't already in law?
Love thy neighbor, I guess.
Okay. So the U.S. government creates a law for you to love thy neighbor.
Okay.
What are the consequences if you don't? How would they know? What would it take for them to know?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Do you really want that much power lying on the government to decide whether or not you love your neighbor?
So these are a lot more moral compasses. Like this teaches a better moral compass as opposed to, a guiding hand.
Yes.
Religion is beneficial to each individual depending on how each person looks at it. Some folks go to church, temples, and mass because that's how they were raised and that's passed down for generations. But that's also what I think is a little bit, because you were raised with it, does that make you religious?
If you're raised?
Yeah, like right there, because some folks go to church, temples, mass because that's how they were raised. Because you were raised with it, because you do all the actions of that religion, does that make you part of that religion?
Well, I guess if you're following the standards and you're going to that particular church, I guess that would mean that you belong to that religion. So that's a hard question. What's the definition of religious?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So while I look that up real discreetly, religious or religion?
Religious.
Okay.
Can you hear my fan in the background?
No, actually, I can't. Awesome. Pretty good. Relating to or believing in a religion.
So yeah, I guess if you were raised in a and you're still living by it and you're still going to church, then yeah, I think that make you religious.
So then, okay, so we're gonna talk Christianity. A Christian is supposed to know God within his heart, right? Doctor.
What's happening? What y'all talking about? Y'all
Oh, you know.
see.
You know, typical religion.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Nene.
Hi.
All right.
But for Christianity, you're supposed to know God within your heart, right? Truly know Him through His Word, the Bible, and try to live as He did. Obviously, no one is good and can live as He did, but you're supposed to try your best too. Right. So most Christians will always say, "Oh, you know, go to church on Sundays, read the Bible." And because they follow those actions, does that just make them religious, or does that mean, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you can have you're gonna have both. So you can be. I've written papers about religiosity versus spirituality, right? But it was in the context of like at a treatment facility where it was a total Christian treatment facility. They did biblical counseling. Traditional psychology was not used in the treatment program. Although when I came there, they did implement behavioral psychology. So I had a lot of clients. I had a caseload out of this world. Like I was doing seeing about 9 to 10 people a day. So they actually they did that, but they hated it. But they saw results from it, but they still didn't like it. But that's neither here nor there. So if a person is going to church on a regular basis, that person could be religious and spiritual, could be simply spiritual, or could just be religious. It's a mix. The only way you're going to know is you would have to get a sample of the.
So because this question was branched off of this. Some folks go to church, temple, mass because that's how they were raised. So it's something passed down from the generations. Does that necessarily make it? Does that doing what you were told or what you were raised with, does that make you religious?
No, you're just doing what you was told. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at a person who is religious, right? That means that when I look at religious, when you say religious, that means this person yields to a divine power, but the divine power is defined within the context of their religious
belief.
Within their religious beliefs, their religious doctrine is the word I'm looking for. When you say a person is spiritual, they just believe in a higher being and they submit to that higher being, but there is no specific literature or doctrine that governs their belief. You understand?
Okay.
So I put less when I was dating. If a woman told me she was spiritual, I checked that we were incongruent when it comes to the block on religion. We're incongruent.
Why's that?
She's spiritual. That can mean anything. Now I need a definition. I need to say you're a Christian. I need you to say you're a Muslim. I need to say that you are a Hindu. I don't want to hear you're spiritual. So she gets a check mark in the box for incongruent within religions. She's not out of there yet, but she's like on a very thin line with me.
It's a red flag.
A huge red flag because I believe in two people being equally yoked. So if she's something different, we're not equally yoked. We are already at a difference. And then if there's a child born, I'm domineering. She will not introduce spirituality to my child. My child will learn Christian values, period.
Chris, what do you think?
What's the question again?
pretty much everything that was just said, what John was saying.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I think most women are spiritual. I don't really think women typically like structure too much. And
Really, you would say most women are just spiritual?
You gotta do it's depend on where you at in the United States. Because most women down here define their religion by they gonna tell you what they are. In the South, they gonna let you know.
Like maybe they go like they may be loyal to a type of religion, possibly because, similar to what Clement was saying earlier, like they grew up with it. They grew up with it, right? But I think so. I guess I don't really understand I understand the difference, but I think you can be spiritual and still identify with Christian values and just not. Yeah. So would that make you spiritual and religious if you identify with Christian values?
Yeah.
Call yourself a Christian.
Spiritual and religious. Because once you say Jesus, you have identified as a Christian. That's the way that works.
That's all it takes, huh?
Yeah. Because if you go to a devout Muslim, they're not fixing to identify with Jesus, period. They're going to identify with the Prophet Muhammad. Then they're going to say that Jesus was also a prophet, but he was not the son of God. He was just a prophet. It's different.
Interesting.
You understand? So, nah. Once you start identifying certain doctrine that you subscribe to, like when a person says they're spiritual, about what? Where'd you get your spirit? You woke up this morning, you had gas, and you felt that was the Lord moving inside. Like, where are you getting this from? You had to poop, really, but you thought you was getting saved at the moment on the toilet or something? No, you got to have some context as to what. I just believe in Mother Nature, and come on, define it. What about Mother Nature? Where is her commandments? She got any instruction on how you should live and treat other people? I mean, there has to be a context, some context.
Okay.
That's why I don't really subscribe to like I said before. Tell me you're spiritual, and you are really spiritual. Like you don't have anything that you subscribe to. There's no doctrine that you follow. You just say, "Oh, I'm a spiritual person." Like that just means you believe that something is greater than us, and you may even be a creationalist, right? You may even believe that we were created, but you may not believe that the same God that I'm talking about did the creating. You may believe another being created, another God, the God of Earth development, I guess. I don't know. Even that. Just too far out there. For me, not to each his own. For me.
I've always found that, you know what, let's tackle this real quick. We'll tackle the rest of this video real quick. All right. Fair use.
But it's definitely not very religious, yeah.
I'm not so deep.
Only a little bit.
Little bit.
The
Yes.
people who do go to church are mostly Christians or Lutheran, and some from Eastern Orthodox communities. Are you religious yourself?
Yes.
While only 16% of Estonians say religion is an essential aspect of their lives, there still are a lot of religious symbols all around the country. Are you religious? No.
Estonia is one of the least religious countries in the world.
The country is home to an astounding array of well-preserved religious sites. Most noteworthy of these is St. Madeleine's Church in Runo, the country's oldest wooden building. Estonia and the Czech Republic are the two nations that often claim to be the least religious countries in Europe, and they seem to be proud of their unbelief. Do you believe in God?
I don't, but I support all religions, think that there's truth in all of them.
Yeah, pretty much depends on the definition.
Are you religious?
No.
No, I'm not religious either, and a lot of Estonians aren't.
Yeah.
Depends on who you talk to, but in general they are not very religious, and they are actually more pagan. But pagans are religion too, just not monotheistic.
This is spirituality in Estonia, the world's least religious country. Seriously, where are the religious people? Are you religious?
No. I think religion is something that was in past, but
And just how successful is their country? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about their GDP.
What do you mean?
Look it up. Go look
The
at
GDP.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Go look up Estonia's and where they rank financially in the world. How they look. How are they doing? Estonia, the Czech Republic. Just how are they doing? And I think that would be a really good thing, given the question that was posed. I like this question. I really like this question. Is religion essential in life? You know my stance on it.
Was that hard no?
That's a hard yes. It's a very hard yes. So many couples suffer because they married someone who does not share any of the Bible's teachings about man or woman and how they should behave within the context of a relationship. And these are some major problems.
Should religion be in schools?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chris, what do you think?
I don't think it has to be direct, not necessarily.
What do you mean?
Like, I think they can teach certain aspects of the Bible without being religious up front, right? I think it's okay to keep it neutral, but still teaching your kids that, like, not to steal, right? Not to hurt each other, to be kind. I think there are certain the Bible does a really good job of expressing certain, like, moral standards that I think should be in all schools. But does it necessarily have to be like children sitting down reading the Bible? I don't think necessarily.
I do. Because
Hold on, wait. Unique. You got a quick minute? Is religion necessary? Is in schools? Does religion need to be in schools?
Religion is so not a good topic for me.
Why
is that?
Lost her way. She gonna
Ain't
get
no
back.
losing no way.
Whatever. You lost your way.
Ain't no losing no way. Okay.
Whatever.
I grew up Catholic, raised Catholic, right?
Okay.
But I no longer do a lot or subscribe to the things of Catholic religion anymore.
Catholicism. Okay.
And that it's not like I don't say thank you, God, I don't believe in God or nothing like that. It's just that dogma and religion, it's a sore issue for me because I feel like it's the biggest thing that holds our people back is the religion that we accepted from this society that they stole from us in the first place, and they recontextualized it and changed it to where it keeps us in looking for somebody else to do something for us instead of doing it ourselves. Instead of what religion really was about the power within yourself, not looking outside of yourself.
Elaborate more about that, please. What do you mean by that?
Go ahead.
I've actually recently heard my sister say something very similar to that. So I'm curious to hear more about this concept. What do you mean?
I feel like a lot that holds us back is because we have adopted the white man's Western religion of Christian values of turn the other cheek, of turn a blind eye, of forgive and let forgive, of, we was pacified. We had a slave Bible. There is a specific slave Bible. Like, to me, it's just words that they use to keep us down. So in their religion, they're not going to make it seem how it was, where the power is within you. Like, you can talk to God yourself. You don't need to go to church to do that. You can you can decide to change yourself and decide to think a different way and decide to do different things and look for yourself as to blame of why what's going on in your life, not blaming the devil. So if you actually look into your life to see what you're doing wrong instead of saying the devil got me, then you would take control of that and you would take ownership of that, and then you can get yourself out of it. But if you always thinking that it's because the devil got me and that's just the devil, has nothing to do with you, those type of things. Like, I love religious people. My whole family is religious, you know. But it's just a lot of things that hold us back. And if you, in spirituality, in a sense, kind of is that balance. The world was balanced between the way man lived on the land, the way man took care of the earth, the way, like, we use metaphors in spirituality in Africa when they first, before, the Catholic religion of Christianity did start in Africa too, because there's an original church there in Ethiopia, right?
Okay.
But what happened was they took the story of, I was just looking at it, Osiris. Let's talk about like the story of Osiris. They actually have that in the Bible mixed up in different ways, like different parts of it. Like the married part of like the person who was immaculate conception and didn't have sex and all of a sudden, had the baby and was Jesus. They kind of stole that a little bit from the myth of Osiris. Osiris was murdered by his brother, right, for the throne. And then the wife kind of restores the husband's body. But we were all mythical, like we were all metaphorical. We knew some stuff wasn't literal. We knew that there was a force. We knew that there was a balance in the nature. So we kind of, like, some of the story talks about how she took his body and basically conceived a son from a dead body, in a sense. So it's kind of like having a baby. So it was kind of like a story of Osiris. And they took that one part and just called it married and said, yeah, immaculate conception. Because they seen this story of Osiris that was out way before the Bible. And they had a story of the woman, impregnating herself with her dead husband's semen and becoming pregnant without having sex. You know what I'm saying? So they took it and put it as the Jesus story. That's just one.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So, do you believe that they should teach religion in schools?
Oh, well, I'm torn on it because I feel like they should teach, like, the 42 laws of Maya is something that they kind of stole. Like the Ten Commandments has a lot of the laws of 42 laws of Maya. And if they would teach those things, which is just as good or might be even better and more than the religious dogma of the Ten Commandments, I think the kids would still be able to learn. They would still be able to love thy neighbor, because if you read the 42 laws of Maya, there's a lot of similarities to the Ten Commandments. A lot. So,
right, John?
I think that they should teach some type of structure of getting along with your fellow brother, of loving your neighbor, of doing the good, right things, but it does not have to be the Western world of Christianity and dogma. It does not have to be that.
Come on.
Go ahead.
All right, so we talk about this, and I hear this on here all the time. But I never get a response back when I do respond to the videos that I see online that talks along this line. You know why? Because they don't know the Bible. Like, they've never read it. or they only read it one time and they really didn't understand most of what they was reading, and then they take bits and pieces of it. It's kind of like going through a textbook and it's called confirmation bias. So you're talking on this confirmation bias based on you poking out shit and then reinterpreting it how you thought it meant, and then getting a whole bunch of people who also don't know the Bible to follow your ass, and they can't argue with. That's why it's so important to read the Bible for yourself, like the scripture says, and seek so that you will have approval, that you will know, so you can find yourself approved in what you're saying. The Bible gives us every aspect of our life that we can live, so that we can live. It's way past the 10 Commandments is only this much of the religion. That's just the very bare bones, like the very bare minimum. But that's what everyone alludes to, because that's the most simple. That's all you remember from Bible school. You understand? But it tells you about finances. There's scriptures that talking about how the rich rules over the poor. That's true. That's a fact. I don't care if the Bible has been retranslated. Of course, you couldn't read it. It was never written in the English language. It was written in Hebrew. The first books of the first 4 books of the Bible are called the Torah, which is in Hebrew. So you wouldn't be able to read it. So it has to be translated. And I don't care if it's been translated.
So do you believe that if somebody don't know how to speak that language, that they know what
American you know that speaks another language besides English? Is only like a handful. Like, it's not even a lot of Americans that speak it's a bunch of Mexican immigrants over here, and we don't even want to learn Spanish. Like, don't want to as an American people. So, like, even the only Americans you see that speak Spanish because they won't hire you in Florida and California unless you can speak Spanish. Like, that is a requirement that you speak Spanish. And so that's a lot of Latinos are getting those jobs because we refuse as American people to learn a different language. We just don't want to. We're lazy like that, right?
Lazy. Yeah.
But when it comes to the Bible and everything, it tells you how to behave as a married couple. It tells you how to behave as a man. It tells a woman how she should be and everything else. And what makes it so bad, the scripture on the woman, which is Proverbs 31, describes the woman and most of what they're trying to work toward now. Like, it says that she is independent of her husband, but she lifts her husband's names up among the elders. But no one really understands that scripture. Like, they just don't read it. You understand? And that's actually the type of woman that the man is looking for. He wants a woman who she can hold her own when he's not around. But nowhere in there is it telling you the woman needs to go out and do this and damn the man, and you just go out and make $195,000 and require him to do the same. But then you wonder why so many women are like single. If you go back and you read that damn scripture and you subscribe to it, I bet you'll get married. I promise you'll end up getting married. If you subscribe to it and you follow it, you understand it, you will end up finding somebody who wants to marry you, because you will calm your ass down with all that extra. Don't nobody want to hear that. Then it tells the man to love your wife like God loved the church. Shut up sometimes. Stop being so damn mean. Consider her needs. Consider what she's asking of you. Stop being so disagreeable. Stop being so lazy. Remember what made you attracted to her in the first place. And it even tells
submit one onto another.
It tells us the borrower will be a slave to the debtor. It teaches you to manage your finances. All of that. Timothy does. I mean, you have to read it and understand the Bible. So that's why I disagree when it says, well, that's the reason that we are in the predicament. No, the reason we are in the predicament we are in is because we have a high, strong need to feel like we are somebody, because we have no identity, because we were snatched from a country, and we don't know who the fuck we are as a black people. I was on a podcast where they thought that they were trying to list some black culture. Them niggas named a song that was created by a white man. I'm like, nobody could tell you what are our traditions. No one. Not one person on there. No one. Why? Because you don't know. You don't know. Even and then you go to Africa, you don't know what tribe in Africa you came from unless you did genealogy. And each one of those tribes have different cultures. Everyone want to group Africa into this Ghanaians are different than Nigerians. Nigerians are different from Eritreans. Eritreans, although they look like Ethiopians, are also different. They speak French. And in Morocco and what's the name of that city that's broken? Is in Cameroon they speak French and English. And there's one country that speaks Spanish.
Wait, Cameroon is not in China?
West stop. West stop. Cameroon is actually really beautiful.
It's not Asian.
But what I'm saying is this: when you subscribe and you have a blueprint for your life, whatever it is you want to learn, you can get it from there. You don't have to go to church to get it there. You don't, because I blame a lot of the ministers who were in the pulpit preaching.
Shout out to you, Simon.
What up, Simon? Preaching, but they had an ill intent in their word. They were sending out a message that was not good. They were sending out a message that was just totally mixed up from what the intent was in the Bible. I mean, they had people praying wrong. They have their members thinking that if I pray for a car, it's just gonna fall out the sky. No, no, it's not. For someone who, let's say you go to a car lot, right?
Okay.
You get turned down for a car. Why? Because you got bad credit. And then a person ministers to you the right way, and they come and they sit down and they go through the importance of understanding your finances, right? The importance of making a plan, the importance of paying off your debtors. Did you know that? That's in the Bible, telling you to pay off your debtors, people that you owe, and pay on a timely manner. So how is that teaching you bad shit? And you subscribe to that, and you do that over a time of a year, your ass will get blessed with a car. Why? Because God used this person to come to you, bring his word, and explain that shit to you and put it in a real-time essence so that you understand it, and then you follow this path. That's how it works.
It
You ain't
has
gonna
to be
pray
some
and the
truth
car
in
gonna
the
fall out.
Bible. It's not all fake. It's not. They recontextualize it. It is
good. I'm
true.
glad they did, because
There
every
is
part
some
I've ever
truth in
read is
there.
good for you. Every
But-
part of
but
it.
There's
Every part.
a guy named Krishnamurti. He always quotes him. There's no measure of a man's health to be fully integrated into a sick society.
There's no measure.
One of those fully. There is. Excuse me.
No measure.
Say that again.
What?
It's
There's no measure of a man's what?
measure of not a man's. There's no measure when you're measuring one's health, right? You can't measure it when you're fully integrated into a sick society. So, because you're measuring my health against being integrated into a sick society. So how they know the light, the way that they can show you how to use spirituality, because it's some in the religion books too, to actually free yourself and become the God that you are, right? But what they do is they give you a little bit of what you're supposed to do. They give you a little bit of what you're supposed to do. Then they recontextualize it to make you depend on somebody else.
So what would you say your doctrine is, Unique? Because this all sounds like the same stuff that my sister says. So I'm very curious. Like, believe in the God in us, and she'll pray to like different things, or
I am still studying, just like I did, study, when I was mostly into, Catholic or whatever. I have read the Bible. Now, did I study the Bible? No, but I did read it.
Wow.
Did I study it? But I did read it.
Did you read it to understand it, or read it like you were reading like math problems off a sheet? Like,
I was reading it and trying to understand it, but I wasn't like going to like Bible study. I was reading it on my own. But I feel
Okay.
like if you don't really like the King James versions is like for people the way they made it, I forgot what that term is. It was for the stupid people. They made a different version, came from a different language. You really don't know. It's different accents on what they say in different words. And if my priest, if I'm a part of religion and they don't even speak the language of where this stuff really came from, they don't even know what they're talking about either. If you don't speak that language to me. And that to me, being in religion and fully integrated into a society that you know how it began and how they are using there's some stuff in the Bible that's really good, but does it free us? It never, like, we had a whole bunch of churches on every corner, and they still fighting and killing and using drugs right around the corner from it.
But how many of those? The church. Listen, the church is not always. You can go to church all the time. What is it like? A lot of people miss God by 6 inches from their head to their heart, or something like that. Because a lot of people don't actually try to know God or try to actually learn the Bible.
Nope, they sure don't.
Because, like, as I would say, predominantly in Black community, we go to church.
But you don't learn shit.
You know what we do for church? We dress up. We make sure we look good and smell good.
Yep.
We go there. We do a lot of praise and worship. And then at like the last 5 minutes before it's about to end, it's kind of like, all right, let me read some scriptures and get you guys out of here so you go back home.
Right.
Scripture is like, we don't want to read this stuff. We're not trying to read this stuff. We just came here to hear the best singer because, you know, that's what church has been in the Black communities. It's always been about the
be about what you look like. That's why Easter Sunday, goddamn, we full. You hear me? Everybody out there on them damn suits they got off layaway and everything. Got that kid suit. I'm gonna dress him like his daddy. Look just like his ass anyway.
Before there was religion, it was spirituality. And if you dig more deeper into spirituality, you would know that it's not something that, like, I can't be with this person. Like, this person has no morals or no values because they're spiritual. No, that's not true.
I'm hold on. Sorry, give me 1 second.
And don't have morals or values.
1 second. Listen to others that don't sign statements of faith and propagate the belief. What is that? What are you saying, Nano? What does that mean? Am I missing something, guys? Does that make sense?
Not to me.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on that. So, Nano, be still here. Sorry, go ahead.
And that listen to people who like that's not like propagating, like, I think, did he say faith or put it back up? Yeah,
listen to others that don't sign statements of faith. Sign statements of faith and propagate the belief.
So those who, most Christian exercises that do work in the field, sign a statement of faith. You can find them on their websites. Oh, I know what he's talking about, a statement of faith, where you you just acknowledge the fact on what you believe and how you believe. You know what I'm saying? You acknowledge the fact that Jesus died on the cross for your sins, and that you follow the commandments of God, and you believe that if you repent, you shall be saved. You covered under grace. I mean, statements of faith are different depending on where you go. They can be long and they can be short, but it's a statement of your faith. That's just where, I mean, but that really, I mean, that's, you're talking about an organization, because like when I was there, when I got hired as a student therapist, I signed a statement of faith.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
it's not about pushing your, like, we want everyone there on the same page. You understand what I'm saying?
What you think? Which religion has more discipline, Christianity or Muslim?
Which one is more? Which one
has more discipline in their religion? Not, all you got to do is say some Hail Marys and you're fine.
I'd probably say that's more Catholicism that you just
That's Catholicism. I don't say Hail Marys at all.
Yeah.
Or Christians do it. Christian be like, just turn the cheek and forget type stuff.
No.
That's all you see us doing in the media. Every time somebody kill our sons, every time somebody do, they're like, oh, just forgive. You just gotta forgive. You gotta just turn the other cheek. That's religion.
Certain scholars, etc., have been fired from questioning certain things or not agreeing with verses in the Bible. Yeah. So, on that,
good question. So maybe the question.
Is it wrong to tell someone their beliefs are wrong?
You can't dictate somebody else's beliefs and tell them that they're wrong.
But I mean, in Christianity, anything that is not God's law is paganism, or it's God's words, it's paganism. You're worshiping a false god. So, wouldn't was that?
What's paganism? Is like having like a ritual or being like subscribed to a different many gods or something like that. Is that paganism? What is that?
Paganism is worshiping. It could be worshiping anything that is not God, really. Let me see if I can pull up a bit. Yes, if you believe in truth, and I mean, you definitely have to be rooted in your word, and I would say I'm not the strongest Christian. A person holding religious beliefs in other than those of the main world religions. See, I didn't really think it was the main world religions. I just thought it was God, Christianity. A person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main world religions. Paganism is a term first used in the 4th century by early Christians for people in the Roman Empire who practiced polytheism or ethnic religions other than Judaism. Does that make sense? Does that clarify it for you a little bit?
Because I thought it was like people who like worship things that are not gods or whatever, or people who have like these traditional things that like Catholic and some of Christians do that. Do y'all take the body of Christ and the blood of Christ and stuff like that? Like, to me, that's a little bit part of other stuff, not Christian. That's kind of paganism of like, this is the symbol of somebody's body, and the symbol of blood.
The body of Christ and the blood of Christ. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, it's like they have some things in the Bible that somebody that I know of could like point out about, like astrology that's in the Bible. It's like they have a lot of truths, and they have to mix it all together so people wouldn't find the real thing. To me, it's a book called The Kabbalion. And that is maybe something to start with if people wanted to learn anything about spirituality.
So what I find is a lot of times people that are into spirituality, all right? It's people that are into spirituality and, that are, I would say, against Christianity. A lot of times they never actually did the reading of the word. They never actually deep dive. They never actually prayed enough. They never actually did all the things that you should be doing as a Christian that says they're about their word to get to know God, to get to find some sort of answers. A lot of times it's we grew up going to church with our parents, going and hearing the gospel, and that's really all we ever knew of our religion. So we just chalked it up to this is a bogus religion. And we went out in the world and tried to find something else that would make us feel a lot more connected.
Yep.
No, I was still a part. It wasn't up until 3 years ago when I started to do this investigation. Because I had my children were christened, just like I was, in the Catholic Church.
But I mean, I don't even believe in christening, and I'm a Christian. Like, christening is not baptism. Because the scripture says baptism by submersion that you be saved. Baptism by submersion.
Yeah, but not Catholics believe that you can.
Catholic is their own religion.
Yes.
Like Catholic, people need to stop crossing Catholic and Christianity together.
Yeah,
Catholic is an off religion from Lutheranism.
They pray to saints.
Catholicism come from. It comes from Lutheranism. That's Lutheran. That's more closer to Catholicism than anything else. And then you've got Lutheran who have adopted. They got away with all the stuff that Catholics do, and they have like a Christian foundation, but then they just do the most. Like they're more like if you go to one of the churches, it would look like a normal church service, like you would expect, like taking communion, all this other stuff, right? But the belief is different, because if I make Lutheran are really close to like Protestant, and these are all the nations of Christianity.
I know they typically pray to saints as opposed to God. They pray to like the Saint Luke, Paul. I know all those saints, and those saints are supposed to. They were the ones that I guess brought the word, right? I'm not too sure on Catholicism, but I think that's how it goes. But Simon, how you doing, my man? You've been there for a while, sitting there patiently.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hear you just fine, man. How you doing?
How you doing? Like, peace of the panel.
Fantastic, man.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Yeah.
Enjoying the sunshine out there. It's hot, man. It's hot.
Yeah, I feel you.
There's no measure of a man's health. It's no measure of a man's health. That's what I was going to say. I'm sorry. It's no measure of a man's health to be.
What is spirituality? It's such a nebulous concept. I agree.
What spirituality?
Yeah, but it's kind of like if you never delved into it and looked at the different ones, and really they all come from one. Like Santa Maria came from Africa as well. It's like a lot of them, a lot of different religions. They all the religions that y'all have now all spun out of Africa. All spun out of all the spirituality.
Christianity is big in Africa, so I don't see. I think this is another one of like. Again, this is no shade at you. I just think this is another one of those tricks that's kind of sold to black people. That this was what was a true religion that you had, but everyone. Yeah, like you guys were, God. You guys came from gods, and you have to find your heritage and real roots. But everyone in Africa is heavily Christian.
Heavily.
Yeah, because they took over. They forced them to.
They don't want Africans to do shit.
That's because
my aunt. I think my church has a sister church in Jamaica and in Africa. Like they have the churches that mine's is Catholic, yours is Christian. They spawn out into Africa. I mean, that was like the first place they took over and did slavery and all that. That was like they actually.
So this was such a prosperous.
Became the president. He started to give stuff back to people, but I mean that's the first place they took over. They've had genocides in Africa, like in the Congo, that was way more than the Jewish people. Like they have so many things that they've done to Africa. So it's kind of like it's a lot of things that people are discovering from the past. That's all that are archaeologists that have been doing these studies, off of even off of white people who they even that wrote about it, not just them. So it's kind of like, yes, I understand that you want to believe what they gave you, the slave masters. You want to believe everything that they gave you. You know what I'm saying? Is good. It has to be good. Look at all this good stuff in there. It has to be good.
Yeah, it does.
Instead of looking at the reality of why would you do this? Why would you bring this type of religion and this Bible to these subject of people? Why? Why would you make them think that they are Ham or Shem or the people who got cursed? Why would you make them believe that?
No one, but
Again,
They say that. They
No,
say
they
that.
don't.
Y'all
Hold
would
on,
curse
man.
people. That's why y'all
Man,
dark.
they say that Ham,
Like,
Shem,
why?
Joseph-
Why would they give us something like that?
Ham's, I don't know, but I was always taught that Ham, Shem, and Japheth was where all the races come from. That their names mean what they are in Hebrew. One means dark olive, one means brown, and then one means very light, almost yellow. And that one went into the kingdom of Nod up in Egypt. That's why all the Egyptians, Egyptians are black people. That's why when people over there thought, well, the Egyptians are all white, you're a lie. Pharaohs were all black. King Tutankhamun was black with them big wide ass noses. They were black. Black.
Yep. Do you know Egypt was the baby civilization of all the civilizations that went the other way from Egypt? Like Egypt was like the culmination of the millions and millions of years of civilization that lived and did religion or whatever spirituality before it came to Egypt. Egypt was like the culmination of everything, like from all different ways they came to Egypt and built that city, and it lasted for a long time. After the Romans left, that's when the nomads, those Arabian people, came in, didn't tear down even though they don't believe in those pyramids, they didn't tear it down because they can make money from it. So they know that even being over there and making money, celebrating those type of things, they don't even really believe in Egypt. They don't even believe in that religion at all. They Muslim. And they just came from, Arabs, nomads. As soon as Roman, left it alone in Egypt, they have, Roman took over Egypt, and then Egypt was fallen, and that's when these nomads came and took over. And the ones that they claim to be Egyptian now, they really not. Those light bright ones. Because yes, Egyptian was all black. But I don't know. I don't see how people can't think that if you're trying to subjugate a people, that you would give them something like the religion they have given us to turn to.
I know. So then, isn't that to say that, like, again, the true word was given to the Hebrews, right? So wouldn't theirs be much closer to the truth? Like, this is stuff that was written down from people throughout generations, throughout history. So I get what you're saying, like what the slaves were given, but obviously what the slaves were given was the wrong stuff. When now we're not in slave times, we're in modern times. But in modern times, for some reason, we're still saying, nah, Christianity still can't be it, but we'll go to follow this doctrine that was said to be the Africans. Maybe we're not really too sure, but it tells us that we are possibly the best people and we're gods by ourselves. So why not follow that?
Do you know that book gets updated all the time? That Bible religious book gets updated all the time. It gets changed all the time. They even have a gay Bible now. Like,
no, that's not.
This is what I'm saying. I'm like, if you can do that to something that's supposed to be so true and sacred,
Mm-hmm.
how is that it? You can just bend it to how you want it to be.
But I mean, you can always, the whole idea is that we were always writing new translations. right? There is English Standard Version. There is the New King James. There's the National NLT, and like there's different translations for it. But you're always supposed to, because every translation is going to hit you in a different way. You're gonna get something different out of it. So the whole idea behind seek and you shall find is you really should be doing your homework and not just going off of like, okay, well, I read it this way, so that's just what it means. Like, no, you should really be doing your homework and doing a deep dive and trying to understand the word. Again, it's hard work, but you should be steadfast and diligent in trying to live a good, just, moral life. But Chris, what do you think so far?
That was a lot. I don't know. It's not much when I think about this seriously. But like for the question that you have down there, is it wrong to tell someone that their beliefs are wrong? I think yeah. Well, no, I think no, it's not wrong. I think it's totally fine to tell someone that their beliefs are immoral. Like there are people that believe that they can sleep with children, they're 60, and I'm not gonna hold off until like they're wrong, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I think people they push this idea when it benefits them. Like you can't tell me that it's wrong. It's what I believe, right? When it benefits them, like they push the idea when it benefits them. But I think you can, I don't think it's wrong to. I think it's okay to express what you also believe and what that other person believes doesn't align with it. I think it's fine. But as far as everything else that just happened, no comment.
you blanked a little bit. Most people don't, I'm assuming take time to read and write Hebrew. That's why it's best to seek out top scholarship and get a good feel for it. Yeah. But that's like saying, I understand what you're saying, but isn't that like saying get a good feel for God by listening to someone else as opposed to, doing the hard work and trying to find it out yourself?
Yeah, that's the tough part about going to church is a lot of times people don't read the Bible. Like you guys were saying, they don't read it themselves. So they go to church and the extent of their knowledge in terms of the religion is just based off the pastor that they have.
Correct.
And
if that pastor is not,
the pastor is a human, and if you read the Bible, you know that humans have the free will and they're flawed. Like humans aren't perfect. So the fact that people put that much faith in other people to help them build their own faith, I think is misleading, and I don't think that's the right way to approach religion. If that's what you want, like if you want to embark on that journey, listening to someone,
I can see y'all,
to a human being is not the best way to do that.
Correct.
That's how we ended up with all the religions that we have.
Go ahead, John.
I agree with Chris. That's one of the main problems that where blacks have fallen off from the church, and it has opened the door to all the vulgarity and the improper teachings of the alphabet people and everything like that, because more and more kids are growing up with no fucking moral system. They are giving them the moral system in that everyone should love all people and accept everyone. That's true. I can love you, but I don't have to agree with what the fuck it is you do. I do not. If you had a brother who was a fucking serial killer, would you love him still?
Yeah.
Right. But do you need to accept the fact that he's a serial killer?
Yes.
Do you need to accept it?
Accept the fact that he's a serial killer?
With him, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to accept the reality that he's a serial killer.
No, listen to me. When I say acceptance, I mean it the same damn way the alphabet people mean it. That means you either for us or you against us. You can't just like me and say I'm okay as a person. But if I'm a gay person, you have to agree that
accept him as a serial killer.
Yeah, bro. You gotta.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Crazy. For me to fucking accept homosexuality, that's crazy too. I can like you as a person. I don't have to fucking agree with what the fuck you do. Period. And that is what is taught in the Bible. You can love this person, but not the sin.
Yep.
You understand? Love the person, not the sin. You do not have to fucking say, well, if you don't love my sin, then you don't love me. That's bullshit. That's crazy as fucking a Bessie bug. If my son made all F's, I still love him. But I don't love the fact that he made all damn F's. That's retarded. That's called forcing some shit down your throat. Swallow it whole. Digest that shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little much. It's a little much. I don't know. I don't do all that. Simon, you were say something?
Yeah, over here, the term retarded, you could get arrested for that shit. Like, just saying that. I love you, John.
What'd you say to me?
I didn't say anything like bad. I was saying, like, the term retarded, like, over here, if you say that, you could get arrested for that shit.
Okay.
Like, it might be normal in America.
It's a fucking term. Like, it's a word.
Wait a second. I'm talking. Like,
it's a real word.
I'm talking.
Isn't it used often in the military too?
Like, wow, like retarded.
Yeah,
that's
retarded.
Like, yeah. Over here, you'll get arrested for that shit. You can't say that.
Yeah, whatever.
Here. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I'm over here, you over there. Like, just spreading
Where
some
you
love.
at?
I'm just spreading some love.
Are you in England? Are you in England or Germany?
Don't got me. Like, I'm just talking to you. Like, I'm being nice.
No, I'm asking you, what country are you in?
I'm in London, man.
And that explains it.
Do you actually mean you'll get arrested, or you? Like,
Yeah,
exactly?
you
can't. Yeah, you
Get
can't.
arrested?
You can't call someone
You can't.
retarded. You can say retarded as much as the fuck you want.
I'm literally like buzzing out here because you're saying the word retarded over and over again.
That is
Because
fucking
it's like,
crazy. In this
over
world,
here, it's like someone saying retarded like that is like, wow, you're in handcuffs.
Is that like hate speech? Be like hate speech?
Yeah, not hate speech. Literally, you're getting arrested.
But that's like Jordan Peterson. All right, Jordan Peterson is needed there. Okay, because this is exactly the whole idea that he was trying to fight for. Is like
and this is what
freedom
I'm
of speech.
about. This shit is gonna blow up. It may not be in the next 5 or 10 years, but in the next 20,
look,
when everybody sees what has happened, it's gonna blow up.
I'll put it this way. Look, I have phone conversations.
That's crazy.
With people. I have phone conversations with people and from America, and they say the word retarded, but on media, like on like a platform or something, you can't do that.
I can, and
I know you can, yeah, and you will, yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, like, if you're a media personality, let's say you're an anchor or something, you can be on like 9 o'clock AM news going, oh yeah, I dealt with my retarded son this morning, and it was some fucked up shit. You can't talk like that. So
what about this? What about this sentence? Crime is retarding our society.
Again, it's the same thing.
See what I'm saying?
It's not though, because retard is to slow.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. Keep it going.
Bring it out the Browns. Okay.
You do not let random people create laws for you and have too much power. Because before you know it,
A full circle.
I don't make the laws. I don't make the laws.
Bravo, I'll give it to you.
I don't make the laws. I'm just stating the facts. That's how it is. I'm just telling you how it is from another perspective. At the end of the day, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I actually love it. I like it, and that's why I tune in, because from a different perspective, I can see and hear what's going on over there. Because on a global perspective, you may travel from country to country if you're that type of person, and you might try to sort of, walk that walk. But the fact is, if you came to the UK tomorrow and you started calling people retarded, you're going to be in handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's not going to happen. Like, but if I came to the US and you're like, okay, I could call people retarded.
No, then you might get.
Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? I could do that?
It's not against the law.
Is it just you?
Yeah, for it to be against the law is where the issue is.
No, it's not against the law. I call somebody retarded.
If I was just like, if I came over, all right. So if I came over on vacation, and it was just like, I was in New York, right? And I went down Broadway or something, and it was just like, that nigga's retarded. How would someone look at me?
The beast. That's scary.
Would they be like, how would they treat me? I don't know, because I'm a tourist. I've got the tourist hat on, I've got the tourist t-shirt on. I don't look like I'm from the place, but I'm going, yeah, this nigga's retarded. Are they going to turn around and like go, you know, he's out of place?
Well, there's
I don't know.
There's like what's socially acceptable.
Just leave it alone.
What's legally acceptable. So like what's shocking us, like people don't just say that around, especially not in like liberal cities. It's not PC to use the word. But what's shocking is the fact that you would actually get arrested. Like if I went out on the street and I like screamed it, nothing would happen to me. Like people are not upset and offended, but they can't arrest me for it. And that's the shocking part. Like you can actually lose your freedom temporarily because you use a certain word.
A word. You uttered a word.
That has multiple meanings, not all of which are offensive. That's
right.
Which is correct. Like that freedom. Yo, your freedom of speech is literally being taken.
Yeah, because they have a very strong LGBT presence in London.
This was bigger before LGBT. This is way before LGBT. They've always had strict laws in other countries. I think America is like the most open to speech compared to most countries.
John, it's not strong like that.
No, it's strong as fuck.
It's not that strong.
I'm
going dark for a reason. I'm going dark for a reason.
Okay, tell me why it's not as strong.
Because it ain't. Because we have about 33 different countries and languages in this place. About 12 million people here in a very small setting. It's not the US. Like London is an equivalent of one of your biggest states.
Yep.
Juxtapositioned but we create an engine that allows us to create an economy that allows us to be on the world stage, but that's different. But no, the whole LG alphabet blah blah thing, it's not that it's the same thing. It's not that prevalent. It's not like we're jumping around in the World Month stage and going, yeah, we need to celebrate this shit. I'm being as vague as possible. I'm just saying, like, it's the same. We encounter the same things. There's certain neighborhoods you go down, and one road is this, and the next road is that, and one road you'll get the crackhead, and the next road you'll get the affluent, wannabe bodybuilders, and I'm gonna digress.
That's true. I guess saying retarded over there is like saying gay in some states over here. Meanwhile, retarded means to slow down and gay means to be happy.
Yeah, but these groups adopt these damn words and say what you can't say.
Ouch.
And that's bullshit.
It is kind of crazy. That
bullshit. But you want us to, so let me ask you this, Simon. What is well, I have a great idea, because what's the anchor's name on Good Morning? Piers
Morgan.
Piers Morgan's be having a fucking fit.
I love him.
Okay. So what is the directive on use of pronouns? I know the answer, but I just want to hear it from you.
He's no longer an anchor. He got fired because
I bet he did.
He made a racist statement about.
Okay. But what is the directive on
Harry
pronouns?
and Meghan? Say that again, sir.
What's the use? What is the directive? You can't say retarded. So let me guess. You have to call a man with a beard a woman if he says so, and you have to call a woman a man if she says so. Is that right?
To an extent.
Like, can you be arrested if for
when you're saying retard? When you're saying retard, that directly
retarded.
When you're saying retard,
that's retarded as fuck.
Okay, right. When you're saying retard, that directly refers to people with disabilities, people who are not able to be able. So it's looked down and frowned upon because you're directing. You're a person. Whoever's stating the fact retard is a person who is educated. So you're now turning around and being a bully.
No,
in a sense. No, I'm not saying you personally. Just hold back for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is I'm just stating the law facts, right? So
you stating opinions, ain't none of it factual. It's just opinions. It's opinions of sensitive fucking people, but it's not a fact.
I'll shut my mouth if you don't want to hear. I don't care.
No, I'm just saying. You said fact. When you use the word fact, then it needs to be backed, but it's not backed by anything. It's an opinion.
What do you mean it's not backed? I'm telling you,
it's not backed by anything. It's simply an opinion.
I'm living here, and I'm telling you this is what's going on, right?
And that's an opinion.
Okay, cool.
That they adopted. They adopted an opinion that has
real quick.
No, it's law. It's law.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I want to tackle this real quick. It's quick, real quick.
Cool.
Small clip. Piers Morgan. Fair use.
That you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this program.
Even by the standards of a show in which confrontation is nothing new, this between two of its presenters this morning was extraordinary.
But yet you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not my.
No.
See you later.
I'm being.
Sorry, can't do
This is
this.
absolutely diabolical behaviour.
The clash followed Piers Morgan's angry on-air reaction yesterday to the interview the Duchess of Sussex had given to Oprah Winfrey. Morgan.
I guess after that is why was it that one?
That's what I was talking about. He got fired, and he's now set up a new network because Piers Morgan. He was originally the editor of a tabloid newspaper, which during the pandemic fell down.
I understand.
And he's a very prominent figure in the UK. So like
He's great. He's one of the small voice of reason in the UK.
Very small voice.
Well, it's look, if you think the black population is small in the US, the black population is small in the UK times 80, right? It's like Piers Morgan is prominent. You know, like can't get away from this guy. Like I walk out and he's on the buses, he's on the newsstands, he's on the, he's everywhere. He's all over the place.
So I got a question for Simon. What laws protect your marginalized citizens? And I'm referring to blacks in the UK.
No.
Are there any laws that protect them from violence? Are there any laws that protect them from slander? Are there any laws that protect them from racist assaults?
No.
Now, what laws do you have that protect the alphabet people and men who want to look like women and call themselves women? You got laws for that, though, right?
No.
Oh, yes, you do.
That's a misconception.
No, you have laws that protect the LGBTQ.
You go what?
In
Come
London.
on, John, please don't get.
You don't have laws that. Come on, man.
Alexa's talking to me at the moment. Look. wait, come on. Where'd you get that?
You said LGBT. You activated Alexa.
Where'd you?
That's crazy.
He did. In my house. He's talking to me. Shit. Christ. Nah, it's not. Look, why do you think that? Why would you presume that? If you have, when was the last time you actually came to the UK? How do you know that stuff? Because I'm genuinely interested.
I would say give it about a minute to 2 minutes, and he's probably going to pull up something.
Oh, right.
But usually he's speaking from some level of accurate place.
I hope so, because I'll learn something. I love to learn, but I'm just saying, like, there is a huge misconception in terms of the lives that Black people live in the UK versus the life that Black people live in the US. There's huge similarities, but the problem is there's this fraction thing going on where it's like, you seem to think that we're Europeans and we're not Europeans, and Brexit spelt that out.
What is that? What do you mean by that? I'm confused. Where is that coming from? Why do you say we seem to think we're Europeans?
Because every time I speak to someone from the US, like, granted, whether it be business, pleasure, or talk, it's like, oh, you're from Europe. And I'm like, I ain't from Europe. Like, Europe's different. If you go to Europe, anyone who's been to Europe, I don't know, like, Blooming's chuckling, but it's just like, if you go to France, Italy, Spain, Germany, any one of those countries, and you turn the TV on, you're not going to see the same thing that you see in the UK. What you see in the UK is US stuff. You see US programming. You see the Ellen Show. You see, like, music TV programming and all the.
But okay, so videos. How exactly does that directly correlate to Black people then? That's what I'm really trying to figure out.
Because the Black people in the UK look up to the Black people in the US. Black people in Europe, they do to an extent, but they still have a certain gravitas in terms of if you ever hear a French rapper, they're going to be rapping in French. They're not going to be rapping in English.
That's
so
true.
when you get an Idris Elba or whatever, or like, historically, if you look back, there's been people from the UK that's come over to the US inherently based on the career factor. So if you're going to go into anything like art, entertainment, blah blah blah, demographically, we will travel over to the US. You won't get that with Europe. You don't traditionally have some French guy on your TV shows, but you could. If I say Idris Elba, you know who I'm talking about.
So that we in the Black community, we have the same problems in America and in London. It's literally the same exact problems then.
Not exact. No, not at all. I can't say exact. No way, because
so aren't we advertising the same exact stuff?
You got guns and shit. I mean, your whole problem is guns. Take away the guns, it'll probably be a bit level. But it's like
our problem is not really guns, honestly. I don't think that's our problem.
There ain't no problem with no damn guns.
Guns aren't really.
So what's the? I don't know what the problem is, but
I think the media wants to. The media wants to tell you that it's guns because I think they're trying. They have a push.
They never get them away.
They have a push to try to take away our. That's a Second Amendment. Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Yep. They literally wrote it in the Constitution.
You can add to them
because
take away from them.
Yo,
it's crazy.
I'm gonna come over and do a De La Soul, and at the end of the day, and just see it for myself, because it's like, I came over like young, eyed a long time ago, but like now we're having a different type of conversation. I'm a bit older, and people are talking to you in a different type of way. So taking a holiday is one thing. You could just pull up in a resort, but you know, there seems to be other stuff going on.
You get to come here and you get to say retarded, and no one will even bat an eyelash. Okay, we'll be on vacation here.
The reason why you guys are schooling me because it's like I don't want to come up over there on something of like calling some person because I've got a mouth, right? So I don't want to come over there and go, oh yeah, you're retarded, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because it's like if you, as I'm saying, like if you took a trip to London, you open your mouth and you say that stuff, that'll be a problem, you know. So I'm happy that you're schooling me on that sort of subject.
I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I never realized that there were places that actually had restrictions on speech. I didn't really think that was a thing. Especially not in like London.
Wow, that's hard to hear.
That's a restriction on speech, man.
Wait, okay, bro. Look,
do you not think that's a restriction on speech? I'm curious.
So if you go to the Middle East, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you, I don't know, you need to be well traveled to understand this. I don't know how far and wide you've traveled, but every country has a restriction on speech. You can't go to China or Japan or Russia and speak a certain type of way. It's just not going to happen. In North Korea, you go over there right now, they're gonna have someone from the government that's gonna turn around and be your buddy from the airport to your hotel because they're very wary of how the media is portrayed. That's a restriction on speech.
Interesting.
But
okay.
that's just how they roll. But you can't turn around and tell them how to run their country. But at the same time, it is what it is. The fact that they're actually allowing you in there is different to some countries that won't, because some countries won't. You know, but you got to see yourself as how you are. You're a figurehead. So let's say, look, you got your platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're totally aware of that. It's like how many people you're reaching. They're clocking all of that. So if you turn around, you want to just go on a holiday, that's cool. If you want to jump in a spa in a pool, whatever. If you're going over there and you're trying to shoot some sort of documentary, it's a different case. They're going to have the Department of Environment or whatnot on, sort of meeting you at the airport.
Okay. I don't have a problem with guns. I have a problem with people because I've met quite a few assholes. Is it okay to say asshole, Simon? Or would I get shit for saying asshole where you're from?
You can say what the fuck you up, man. I'm on your platform at the moment, so it's like
that's true. That's true.
You can say what the fuck you want, but I'm just saying, like the internet, when it comes down to it, we're just chopping it up over the internet, so you can say what the fuck you want. I'm just saying, if you like giving a general perspective in terms of like if you were some sort of personality, what's that guy, Johnny Depp, right? He just went through court, blah blah blah. He has to shoot films. He has to go through go to different countries and different territories, right? He can't talk in America the same way he could talk in China. It's just not going to happen because China is not America, and that's just how it is. They're going to have their own restrictions. They're going to have their own way of going about doing things. They're going to have their own politics, and they're going to censor him in a certain way. I don't even think Facebook is in China.
Yeah, I don't think they have Facebook in China. No.
Right. So that's the fact. So you're gonna go over to China, and you got your family and friends on Facebook, and you're gonna get off the plane, and you're gonna try and connect with them, and they're gonna like be like, oh, I can't connect with you. You're in China.
I want to do a quick another reaction. This is gonna be a little off topic, but I've always liked these.
Chase.
Gotta love Kendra. Fair use. Fair use.
And the longest day, I have been up since 5 a.m. I have been nonstop. I am tired as hell, but we are here. As I promised you guys a show. This girl been every night. So let me see what she wants. Hello, girl.
Hey,
Kendra.
Kendra.
Every night. You was up here before?
Huh? Yes, I was. I actually missed your call yesterday, girl. I was passenger seat riding with my crazy best friend at Wendy's, and they Wi-Fi was just lagging and making my connection.
Okay, so I feel like you have an update for me because what's going on? You've been trying to get on this show. Is the Wi-Fi not working?
Huh? No, yesterday when you called me first, and it wasn't working yesterday, and that's why I missed your call yesterday.
Okay, but okay. What's your name again?
Mia.
You've been here before, though, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So what do you want to say? Because I feel like you came back on to say something.
I did not like that lineup. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like, maybe I need an out-of-towner or something because I didn't like the lineup. And then some of the Chicago men, it's just, no. Like,
Okay, let's start from the beginning. What's your name again?
Mia.
How old are you?
30.
30. Kids or no kids?
2 kids.
How old are your kids?
14 and 2.
14 and 2. Same dad?
No, different dads.
Why you not with the 2-year-old dad?
We just grew apart and we wasn't really meshing.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I am the girl with the skincare business, and I was working at Amazon, but now I'm bartending.
Okay, so you bartend and you have your own skincare business.
Yes.
Bartend, skincare business. When's your birthday or zodiac sign?
It's Aries. My birthday is April 5th.
She's an Aries, April 5th. All right, Mia, give it to me, girl. What kind of man you looking for?
I don't really have a specific type. I really don't. I'm just looking for someone that is actually healed, because I noticed on your show, it's a lot of broken people coming up on this show, and they really need therapists. And they're the reason why it's mustard yellow piss in the dating pool. And it's like,
girl, you got a whole 2-year-old baby. Somebody can look at you like that's crazy.
Yeah, but no, not really, Kendra.
Yes, really. A guy can look at a girl and say, you have a 2-year-old, why you not with the dad? Like, you could have worked that out.
But I'm not the mustard yellow piss in the pool, Kendra. I'm not the one with the
give
trauma.
me an example of what's mustard yellow piss.
For instance, people are on your show pouring out their heart of how they're still hurt. It's looking like they're not healed. Like, they literally just got hurt 3 months ago and on your show looking for love, as opposed to sitting on someone's couch and getting that therapy and healing to properly place themselves back into the dating world.
So you feel like you 100%, because I'm about to go at you hard because you coming at other people really hard. Like you got a perfect resume.
No,
I ain't got no perfect resume.
I have a therapist. First of all, Kendra, that's the thing. People are downplaying mental health. That's the thing. People downplay mental health and don't believe they need help with their healing from the past. Relationships, childhood trauma, all of that. People are ignoring that and thinking that being with someone is going to replace those voids, when you really need to heal first and then look for love.
So you feel like you're all the way healed?
Like I'm perfect. I'm saying like people come on, not everybody, but some people have come on the show and I'm like, oh my God, like you hurt, like you need to go get help, like and heal. Like, how could you try to place yourself to when you literally coming on the show just pouring out your heart on how hurt you were? And it's not like it was from years ago. It's like recent hurt. And it's like, damn. Oh my God.
I feel you on that. But what I'm just saying, you got to be careful when you talking so directly about other people, because your resume to a guy is not what you think it is. You got 2 baby daddies, you got a 2-year-old, and you got a 14-year-old, which means you had a child in high school, correct?
Yes.
Men ain't jumping for joy all the time to sign up for that. So you coming at people strong that been on my show, but the guys that might want to date you might feel the same way about you.
No,
so maybe while you're on this show, you should focus on yourself and stop trying to talk
No,
about the other guests that have once been here because you ain't got a picture perfect resume yourself.
No, I'm saying that it's not with my. It's saying I'm not coming on your show saying I'm hurt. Oh my God, my boyfriend cheated.
It's
on
not
me.
about that. You come on my show talking like you talking down about past guests.
No,
like
you just asked me about the lineup, and I was saying
you
said
said people on your show they got pissed. Girl, you need to watch this.
I said some people come on the show is the reason why it's mustard yellow piss in the pool because some people be hurt. I didn't say all people were hurt, Kendra. I said some guests were on your show hurt.
Man, Kendra need to bag the fuck up. Everything that girl said was exactly fucking right.
Yeah?
Hell yeah. People do be on her show traumatized like a motherfucker looking for somebody. Now, that girl ain't got to have a perfect resume, but the last damn reactions we did, she did. Out of all the motherfucking reactions we done did, you got them ooga boogers up here talking about he need to make $150,000. He need to be able to go through the pre-check. I want this and that, and I'm 285 pounds, and I'm 5 feet tall. Get the fuck out of here.
So this person who had 2 kids with 2 men who didn't mesh, so now she's on the way to a 3rd baby daddy. Girl, please. Yeah, she's right, but she is not the one to say it.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's tackle a little bit more.
Right? Bad place when she got that other baby.
She screwed up there a little bit.
Yeah.
They were hurting. They needed therapy rather than trying to be on.
So you think when you step in the pool? So you think when you step in the pool, it's crystal clear?
No, I just told you, Kendra, I'm not the mustard yellow piss.
So what piss are you then?
Talking about what piss, Kendra? I'm not on your show with hurt with a sob story.
So I'm asking you. So when you get in the pool, I'm asking you a direct question. When you get in the pool, what color do the water turn?
What color do the water turn? First of all, I'm allergic to chlorine.
Girl, you know what the hell I'm talking about. You say everybody making the pool mustard color.
No, I didn't say everybody.
So I want to know. I want to know when you get in the pool. I want to know when you get in the pool. What color is the water?
Kendra, I didn't say everybody. I didn't say everybody, Kendra. I never
well,
said
you're talking about people, so I'm asking you a direct question.
I'm not talking about everybody. I said some people.
Okay, we took that off that's off the table. I'm asking you a direct question. When you get in the pool, what color does the water turn?
The color is still the same. It's still consistent.
Oh, so when you get in the pool, you think the water's clear?
The color is still the same. It's still consistent.
Okay, let's continue then. All right, what kind of man you looking for?
I'm looking for, like I said, a man that's healed. Because as I stated before, some people are not healed. So please come healed from past childhood traumas, past relationships. That's the biggest thing for me. Healing. Something that people don't take seriously or think they need. Healing.
So do you feel like men that are not healed aren't approaching you?
I'm sorry?
Do you feel that men that are healed, are they not approaching you?
Yes, some men are healed that are approaching me.
So what's up with them?
But that means they're not compatible for me. They're not for me. Because some of them are too old. Some of them are like in their 40s and 50s. And I didn't agree to dating older men that far out like that.
Okay, so you want them healed. What else?
I want them to have not anger issues. So no anger issues. They are mild tempered.
No, you said girl.
Listen, girl. I don't want an angry man. I don't want an angry bird. I want a man that has control of his emotions.
Girl, come on now. You said mild temper, no anger. You're gonna need to watch back this video and watch yourself, because maybe you don't know yourself. You came on with a temper.
No, I didn't.
You set the tone to me.
She sounds lovely. Carl Shaft, how you doing, man?
People? Sorry I'm late.
No worries, man. No worries.
That was hilarious to watch.
Yeah, she's she's something.
A small comedian.
Yella killing over there. Yellow the comedian over there in the chat.
How you ladies doing? What's up, dude? See you over there smoking. I miss you. Hi, ladies. Don't have to look like a Morgan here. What the hell? Oh, shit. I brushed my teeth. I mean, oh damn.
So,
No,
Carl,
back.
have you
What
heard
was the
anything?
topic?
Who was just speaking? Was he unique?
No, I didn't say hi at first because I had to come back to the page.
Okay.
I actually got like I guess like an internship you will call it, but stuff I guess maybe for free. I'm doing it for free. A doctor wants me to help her with research at least once a week. So I was trying to look up some of the stuff while y'all was talking, trying to do 50 million things at the same time. I'm sorry I've been neglecting the chat.
No worries. Listen, you.
But I'm so excited about this. The doctor, she's on YouTube and she be having shows on there. And I love watching her. And I emailed her asking if I could help her be her research assistant. And she got back to me. It took months.
Shout out to you. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Multitasker. You look different. And we're missing somebody.
Oh, my sister's keeper. I usually come today.
Yeah, Danielle.
It's
Probably has
mom.
something
It's,
to do.
oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Straight.
Carl, since we've
sir.
spoken about it, we'll drop the question to you. Do you think religion is beneficial to the human existence?
Oh shit. Does religion benefit the existence of people? At this juncture, hell no.
No?
Not today, no. At one time, yes, but today, no.
So if we just kind of just dropped the religion and kept moving forward with the human race, that you think we'll be fine? We're good.
Actually, that's what people already did in the last 5-10 years. If you look around.
Okay.
Churches became a business.
You don't really believe it's beneficial then?
It can't be because there's no more structure. There's no more belief. You know what I'm saying? I mean, remember, the churches, because you was making offerings every Sunday, attending church every Sunday, participating in all of that. If you got a wedding or a funeral and need a place to repast, they gave you nothing but love. Now, give me $500, maybe $1,000. I want you to be out in 3 hours and clean up behind yourself. It's a business. People don't take it serious no more. It's too many variables.
Well, that's just a church. That's a church.
Mhm.
I'm talking religion.
You're talking about the belief? You're talking about the belief part of it?
Yes.
Because I always thought church and religion itself is in the mind. But again, I have to stick on that again because
So
people
no.
are not, people are not as religious as you think. Not anymore. Mentally, in their daily action, you don't see it.
Interesting.
Because
What do
their
you
morals, a lot of people's morals got totally compromised.
What do you think religion teaches?
Structure and discipline, guidelines, do's, don'ts. It's supposed to give you a belief that there's something beyond you. But you got people walking around thinking they beyond others.
Okay. I mean,
remember, you're my brother. That meant something. Yeah, you're my brother, but I'm still gonna sleep with your wife, your girl. You know, it's different mindset, morals, structure, discipline. It's crazy. Chicks can go party and OnlyFans or whatever, and go to church the next day, and mentally they see nothing wrong with what they're doing and what they believe on Friday, Saturday, as opposed to what they do only on Sunday, and rather Islamically or whatever. It's just crazy, man. People are just making excuses for what they're allowing to bend it.
So let me ask you this: it's in our past time, religion was heavily spread, and it was a lot more taught.
Yes,
children.
It was more enforced.
It was more enforced. Yes, I would say more enforced. Would you say society was better back then with that, or is it better now without it?
Of course, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't. Remember, through slavery, religion, family structure, all the Jim Crow, everything, religion and the belief and the structure, and you must read the Bible, you must recite the surahs, you must recite this. That was embedded, and that's helping us saying, you know what, we're going to pass that down to our kids and family structure and all. Now, shit, you don't see none of that. Cotillion dances, I miss the shit out of that. You don't see that no more.
Go ahead, John.
And that's when fathers used to go to church with their with the wife or the mother or whatever. Not no more.
What he said. Now,
you know.
But if it helped us, wouldn't we be in a better state now? If all those things they were doing back then really helped the next generation, help the next generation, help the next, like they passed it down and they kept passing it down. It didn't help.
The family and listen, the family and the religious communities are all corrupted. It's too late to go back. Back then, everybody respected the sanctuaries. They respected each other, regardless of what was going on outside, racism and all of that. They respected that, and it was embedded in every child. Now, shit, you ain't gonna find motherfuckers reciting no damn Psalm 23 and all of that. Crazy? The kids are different today, man. Back then, you knew the Star Spangled Banner, and you're black. Shit.
So I would say unique. You know that game Telephone? I think that's what happened with religion. Slowly but surely, each generation was doing less and less with religion. So it's like, okay, you were reading the Bible. Okay, you don't need to read the Bible as much. Okay, you just go to church, 3 times a week. Okay, just go to church on Sunday. Okay, you don't really have to hear that much of the word on just give some more tithes and you'll be good. Like God will cover you.
Drop them $20.
Yeah, it's like $20, $50 here, $100. Doctor.
All right, so here's the thing, man. Like Carl pretty much just answered the question. Times was better back then. That's true. I'm from that era. You took the Bible, you took Christianity out, you put metal detectors in. Period.
Oh Lord.
You have no, and it's gotten so bad. It's gotten so bad that boys thinking they girls, and that shit's being taught that it's okay. Girls thinking they boys, and that shit's being taught that it's okay. See, the biggest threat to that fucking movement was Christianity. That's why the propaganda is being pushed is to move Christianity out. So the first thing that the gay white men, because that's who run that whole organization, the gay white men that's in power did, was we got to go back to separation of church and state. So we got to remove that out of the, they did it. They removed the prayer out of the schools. So boom, there we go. And the next thing we got to do is we got to get it out of the hearts and minds. Then we got to put more of this shit on TV, and we got to get now blacks across the board do not accept it. Blacks across the board do not accept it, and that shit is still to this day. African leaders speak up against it. They ain't trying to hear that shit. You better stay away from them talking about it. Obama tried to force Zambia and a couple of other shit, and they was like, Obama can go to hell. We ain't got no problem like that. They tried to do it in Zambia, tried to do it in Kenya, did not work. And to today, it is still criminalized. 15 years to life imprisonment or those terms, right? Now we move away from that. Now you got this, now that the preachers who are, and I told you, the problem is not the religion itself, it's the messenger. It's the people who are not qualified to be in a fucking pulpit that only want to preach for money. They took
He
one
just came home from jail.
Run with it, you understand? And
Theological
they turned
seminar.
into the biggest fucking hustle in the history. There was a lot of preachers that I used to love Creflo Dollar until he wanted a fucking $25 million plane. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, nigga, you don't need no $25 million fucking plane, bruh. On God, you don't. For real. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you need that? Why don't you take that money and feed poor people who want to go to your church, but they don't want to show up? Don't get me started because I get real upset about that. But it's not the religion. The essence of the religion is what keeps it. When you live by it and you practice it, ain't nobody telling you have to try to be a perfect person. Nigga, I cuss with the best of them, but I give with the best of them. I don't go to church and a bum asks me on the street, do I have some money? Yeah, I give it to him because scripture says, if it's in your power to help somebody, you're supposed to help them. But I know people who leave and lie, have $200 or $300 in their pocket. They ain't got no dollar. Why don't you go get a job? Bitch, why was you just in church? What was the purpose of your black ass going to church? For what? What did you learn today? Only thing you came there for was the hymn, was the fucking sermon that he was singing. What would you come for? Because you didn't.
It became. Don't forget, Doc. It became a fashion show because
oh my God,
I saw two videos. I saw two videos where chick looked like curves and nice short skirt and all of it, and they said, "Is this appropriate?" It became one of those type of things. Now, I go to strip club, go to church, you see the same thing. Listen, black people ain't even programmed today to get up 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning and put on clothes to go to no church. The party's over at 8 o'clock in the morning. You've been out all night, sleep. These ain't getting up. Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, so you're not going to be able to follow religion to each letter of the law. As much discipline as you think Muslims have, Muslims sin just like every damn body else.
They got their problems too.
Fucking body looking. They fuck other people's wives when ain't nobody fucking looking. The wives fuck other motherfuckers' husbands when ain't nobody looking. That's just the way that is. There ain't no perfect people running around here on this earth. Everybody is susceptible to fucking temptation. Period. Everybody. I don't care who you are.
Dress and accessorize outside of their religious culture.
Right.
You ain't supposed to be wearing no gold jewelry and lipstick and eyelashes. But okay, alhamdulillah.
you do what you do.
So this girl is a clown. The more people that come on her show, it's more funnier. This reminds me why so many people are single and going to remain single, because you have people like that running around coming on the show, showing the true sides.
There are no virtuous women, Carl.
Yeah.
Ain't too many Proverbs 31s out there, because those are the ones that niggas wife up without thinking.
Peace and cooperation.
And because you went so hard on past guests, it made me want to go hard at you because you came on with that energy. So, and one thing I want to say, you've been trying to come up with this energy because I've been seeing your name for weeks trying to get on the show. So I'm like, okay, I keep seeing her name. She's like first. I feel like you've been waiting for this show to start because your name will be at the top. So you've been waiting all these weeks to get on the show to give me that. Like, you got to understand, you are attracting what you're giving. You're not coming up here sweet and kind. You came up here exactly what you don't want.
I came here sweet and kind. I was a highlight before. I came sweet and kind.
Oh, you gonna be a highlight?
I noticed sweet and kind girls. Nobody sweet and nice in this world gets what they want. When you are firm and when you are very serious, which I am, I'm serious. I'm very passionate about how I speak and how I talk. That's why nobody fucking plays with me, because I'm not to be played with. I'm a very serious young lady. I am not someone that plays games and joke around. So when I talk passionate, as you may have felt that energy, I'm an Aries. It's because I'm passionate. I see nothing but hurtness. A lot of people that be hurt, and it's like people be in the comments. We be looking for love in the comments. It's like people in here that's like kind of hurt, rather than really being healed and really out here trying to look for love.
Well, first of all, if you're
so it wasn't an irritated.
But real quick,
it wasn't an irritated energy, Kendra. It was just like, oh my God, like people are really hurting and don't believe in the seriousness of being healed and trying to date. That's
what
all
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying.
What I'm saying, hold on, real quick. Let for somebody in the comments, hold on. Let me pin your ass so I can, because I ain't feeling that well anyways. So BBFL, Kendra, I feel like you dragging it. How about you feel like it's Kendra's show? So if I want to drag something across the goddamn TV show or on the Instagram the whole night, guess.
At least she's worth $40 at Red Lobsters.
$40. Wow, that's a lot of money for her.
I was trying to be kind, but
Hey, I was trying to be nice too.
These two old dudes over here, right?
I don't wear Depends. Ain't nothing over about me. I still throw 200 pounds through the window. Hold on. Backtrack that shit, bro. You talking about old? Why, you looking at a face?
You seem to have a problem.
Bro, I break people up for a living. Watch your mouth.
That's your business, if that's your business.
All right, so watch what you're saying, bro. That can be offensive.
I don't do that for a living. If you want to do that for a living.
Yeah, well, this is why you should watch your mouth, because you don't know who I am and what can be.
Okay.
Watch your mouth. That's what I'm going to tell you for the last time.
Okay. You can tell me what you want to tell me in your own state. That's fine. I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to take it as it is. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, from a perspective, the way you've been speaking about women ain't great. And that's all. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not about me watching my mouth. I'm not going to be horrible to you.
Bro, I've been around women.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second, guys. Now, without saying anything directly towards him and how he looks, Simon, I want you to address what he said about women that you think is so demeaning, negative, etc. Go.
It wasn't something specific. It was more general. It was the tone, like in terms of, this is how things are. When it's not how things are generally. So I'm not trying to go at dude, not like that.
Okay.
But the way he came on, that's how I perceived it, and that's why I'm speaking on it, because that's how it was perceived from an outsider's perspective. And I'm just giving you a viewpoint. I'm just giving you a viewpoint as a viewer. Like every time I tune into platforms and stuff like that, I ultimately come on as a fan. I'm not coming on to promote my shit. I'm not telling no one to drop my link in, and I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But dude, you came on hella aggressive in terms of how this is this and this is that. And I respect you. You're an elder, but they're sometimes I'm sort of caught in the middle. And sometimes what happens is people will view stuff after, and they'll see you in a certain type of way because of the way you spoke. And I was just pointing it out. That's all it was. Do you get what I'm saying? And
I got you.
You and Doctor over there, Doctor is Doctor, right? Because people know Doctor on the platform. So if everyone's ultimately tuning into CKQ, right? They see Doctor, but your tuning is okay, bro, Doctor's tuning. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got your viewpoints, but it's an elder's viewpoint. And I don't know if many women, modern women tune into.
Well, let me help you. So this way you can ask questions, do your homework. When you spend 6 years, let me go back before that. When you graduate high school and you get your law degree and you spend 6 years as a male stripper, 5.5 years correction, 22 years as NYPD, and then another 20 years bodyguard and everywhere from celebrities and all that, yes, you have a good instinct about people. In less than 3 seconds, 3 minutes, you read people. You learn things quickly. So that way you can stay alive. So that's why I take offense to it, because ain't nothing old about me when I can throw a 250-pound dude through a window.
You're entitled to that.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
And
I'm going to take offense because I paid my dues not to be come out from a brother like you like that. So ask a question and come better than that. Do your homework before you come. When I come hot like that, it's because I know what I'm talking about. And me and Doc ain't no different, believe me or not, because I'm a big comedian. But I know how to be serious and articulate too.
I appreciate you, bro. Look, at the same time, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
not many people sort of appreciate being thrown through some sort of window these days.
Well, some people deserve it.
Like, it's not gonna, you know, we don't do that anymore.
Well,
So
you grab
like,
a female's ass, I'm throwing you through the window. You disrespect a black woman in my presence, I'm gonna throw you through a window.
You could do that.
And that's on a nice
Go,
day.
go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
All right, so Simon, you said something about the modern woman. What you was talking to him about the modern woman wouldn't appreciate something. I didn't hear some of it. What did you say?
It wouldn't appreciate that sort of tone. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like the way it's kind of rough. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like rough, rugged. It's like playing back some sort of 70s.
I should sound like Derek Jackson and I'm
wait.
sorry.
Hold on. Let John get in his word.
That's I thought that's what you said, but I wasn't sure. All right. So it's just a couple of points I want to make. One, the modern woman, no real men are looking for them. And then two, modern woman actually would appreciate that rough ass tone because all women do. They don't appreciate simps. They have no respect for simps. They use simps and they fuck men. They use simps and then they fuck men. That's what they do.
They're not used to being told the word no.
He wants to be really nice. He wants to fucking buy his way into a girl's heart. That's not how that shit works. They talk about that shit amongst their friends.
Okay.
And they keep a simp tucked away at the house because he pays the bills. And they get up when his ass is away and they go put the pussy down on the nigga who's really gonna bring it back to him. That aggressive dude. The guy who talks reckless. That guy.
I see what you're saying. So it's like, what's a simp to you?
A simp is a nigga who try to buy the damn woman. Who try to buy love and affection when you could cut all that shit out and save yourself.
And they wound up coming to guys like us for their first orgasm.
Yeah,
their first squirt sessions. They never did nothing.
I just want to get clearance. I just want to get clearance from CKQ because, like, I don't want to start going into this because it's like, shit. Some of these guys,
you guys are having a conversation.
Look, all right, okay, all right, Mr. Dr. John.
Come on with it.
All right, so I'll just ask you, like, what's the definition of a simp, right? Are you a married man?
Oh shit!
No.
Here we go.
No, but
what the fuck that got to do with it? What the fuck that got to do with it?
What does that got to do with in China?
Well, give me some grace. Okay,
so I'm giving you some grace. So go ahead.
You're not a married man.
No, I'm not.
Have you got children?
Yes, I do.
Right. So
was you a simp? 3 different women.
Was you a simp at some point in time in your life?
No, I'm aggressive as fuck. That's why I got 3 different
women. Wait a second. How does that make any sort of sense? If you're
it makes perfectly good sense.
How? No, it doesn't. Because
it does. It does.
All right.
It does.
I'll explain for a second.
Right? Okay, let me hear it.
You're turning around as a whole grown ass man, right, and saying you have not been a simp at some point in time in your life, but yet you're not in a situation where you're in a relationship that's meaningful and you have children.
I am in a relationship
you have to take care of, and ultimately there's some stuff going on in the background. So you
have you ever said no to pussy?
Carl,
have you ever said no to pussy?
Wait, hold on. Let him finish his point. I'm
just saying. I'm doing this. I'm doing this for a reason. The reason is there's young black people, younger black people than us. And I speak to a lot of young people, young black people, and they're very confused about relationships and things like that. So when we start throwing out sort of terms like simps and you know, all this confusion stuff, we need to really get that straight, because unless you've actually been in some sort of relationship for a long term and you understand, I know you have, and you understand the whole thing. Like I'm a parent myself, so I understand where you're coming from. But the term simp, it's not that straightforward. So you can't
It's very straightforward.
So right. Well, tell me. All right, let's redefine this again. Your term of simp is what?
Do you need an example? I'll give you an example.
No. I don't want an example. I want.
Yes, dear. Whatever you say, dear.
Yeah.
Your term.
Yes,
of simp.
dear.
If
Man.
CKQ allows your term specifically.
Okay.
Not
Here's
Carl.
my term of a simp.
It'll be
It is
interesting
a person
to see
who
what
has a
Carl's
lower.
perspective is
It is
after.
a person who has such a low self-esteem that they would rather pay all their money out to a woman that gives two fucks about them just to say that they had that woman. They agree to do every fucking thing that she says, no matter what, matter how fucking ridiculous, just to say that they have this woman in their life. That, my friend, is a simp. Period.
Carl, do you agree, Carl?
Huh?
I was just talking to Carl over there. Wait a second. I'm trying to get the shit straight.
Oh, Carl.
Yeah.
That's what
I've talked about this.
Do you agree,
Brother
Carl?
man, I agree 1,000% because I'm aware of the 4 subdivisions of men. Okay? The qualified man, the basic man, the metrosexual man, and your dollar store dude. You know where your sins fall under? The dollar store dude. Because they can be negotiated, flexed.
So what John said was, so you, let's say tomorrow, right? I don't know how old you are and how long you have to live life. You meet a woman tomorrow, right? You're a made man, right? That's the term that we don't usually use in these YouTube streets. We're made men, right? Because we done our shit, right?
I mean,
Okay.
man has a different negative connotation to it.
I say qualified man.
I'm going around it. Right. you meet someone and it's fascinating. It's weird. It's like, oh shit! Like I met this woman and I could potentially like live the rest of my life with her.
Wrong. You're wrong already. Because qualified men don't think like that, bro.
All right, I'm asking you. So how do you? So that doesn't happen in your life.
Not qualified men, no.
Nope.
So how? All right. So how does that work then? I mean, in terms
Carl,
of
can I answer? Because
yeah, please do, Doc.
To you the last time on here, right? When you a qualified man, she gotta be qualified. She ain't
exactly
be jumping out my fucking skin. Period. And anybody who's ever watched this podcast, there are 5 fucking qualifications that we gotta fucking have. Yannick know that, Clement know that, even Chris know that. And ain't fixing to be no fucking woman that I meet. Ooh, man, I've been to 25 different countries and got a body count out this world. Women do not fucking jump on me like that. Like that don't fucking.
Women don't think like that. What are you talking about?
Women don't. They don't affect me like that. I done seen too many. I've been with too many different types.
You're single.
That's why I asked you, have you ever said no to pussy?
I'm single. I'm just not married.
You don't get it.
I'm asking multiple questions at the same time, right? Yes, I have said no to pussy. At the same time, I'm just saying you're single. At the end of the day, it's like, where are you going, bro? It's like, what are you talking about? It's like you're going on about, oh yeah, I'm the man. This woman has to do this, blah blah. But yet you're single. It's like, how are you dealing with this? How long are you gonna?
I'm just not married.
All right, so you're in a relationship.
I'm not single.
You're in a relationship.
I'm just not married.
You're in a relationship.
Of course. And can
How long
stay
have you been in a
one
relationship
over and over and over and over again.
You've been in a relationship for a long time?
Is a man considered a simp if she likes him back?
See, y'all are getting.
Are you to be honest with you, brother? That's the difference between convenience and quality. Putting up with you versus giving a damn about you.
There you go. Say it again for the people that
Come on, bro. Just because somebody put up with you, just because somebody likes you, don't mean that they won't pull the plug on your ass when you're in ICU.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean, brother man, I'm going to answer that. You know how many people are in marriages and relationships and don't even ask the question, wait a minute, if she lost her titty tomorrow, if she caught multiple sclerosis, would you stay with her? If he lost his dick tomorrow, would you stay with him? They don't ask these questions. You understand?
But you're supposed to ask the questions first. Like, I mean, you're not supposed to sort of get into a relationship with somebody where you get to a point and you sort of have some sort of insecurity about that. That's odd.
Insecurity, I say reality. I'm talking about reality. Something you can't foresee that you didn't sign up for.
That's not reality.
That is reality.
No, it's not.
Do you realize the aging process and what goes through in it?
Bruh,
Do you realize you're not as healthy as you was 10 years ago? Do you realize that? And as you get older, depending on what your choices are,
I'll give you an example. Right? Hypothetically, I'm not.
You've been hanging around Derek Jackson. I know it.
I don't know who the hell that is, but hypothetically, I'm single. Yeah, hypothetically. Let's take the lady on the panel on the right. Right? I'm gonna go on a date, right? Or whatever. I don't date anyway. But even if I'm having conversations with someone, I'm honest, flat truth. So I'm asking questions. I'm zoning in on that. Like, I need to understand who this person is, who I'm getting involved with, who I'm gonna let into my house, who I'm gonna even let touch me. Like, I ain't playing on that situation of trying to get to know them. Let's see how it goes, blah, blah, blah. So I get to a point where it's like, I find out something that I'm confused about. I mean, that's wrong. And this is the problem. It's like, we got these men out here that are totally emotional in that same sort of sense. They don't understand what's going on. It's like, oh yeah, we're just going to see what happens. It's like, how can you see what happens? Check what's going on. If you're going to set up a business tomorrow, you got to check what's going on. You're going to go through the P's and Q's. You're going to do all the tick boxes because, and this is the problem, like we always say to our women, that they go out there and they get these qualifications and, you know, they step out and at the end of the day, they don't know what's going to be lived after. And we do the same thing with our women. We don't check them in the same sort of way. When they're looking to us, for us to check them. And then we get into these relationships and it's a problem. And we could be in it for 4, 5 years, 6 years. Don't lock it down. It's problematic. Oh yeah, I'm in a relationship. Okay, 6, 7 years down the line, something wrong happens, you break up, and you're going to leave that woman destitute because you have not married her. It's
called evolving, bro. I don't know.
That's not evolution. That's not evolution.
It is evolution because you're not the same person you was last year, 2 years ago, and 3 years ago. Guess what? Stop trying to get to know people. Just worry about getting along with them. That's what carries a relationship. Because guess what?
That's what's totally wrong about.
No. That's not. No, it's not. You know what? You know what's really wrong is when people are making things complicated. Keep it simple. Make time for the person.
You're lazy, bro.
No, it's not lazy. See, this is what I'm saying. Make time for the person, fuck the person, give a damn about them consistently. That's all you need to do. Keep it simple.
Women don't want to be treated like that. You can't.
Well, guess what? Provide and protect. Isn't that your job? You're not supposed to get emotional with them, like them.
No one said nothing about getting emotional.
Right, so guess what?
What I'm saying is you need to understand women. You can't just go into a relationship and not do the work in understanding what a woman is. You're just walking in and want to get what you want out of it. That's not how it works.
Listen, either they is your mother, sister, cousin, auntie, doesn't matter. Some of these women don't even catch their first orgasm or squirt session until they pass 40, 50. Listen, what I'm trying to show you is that you are the leader.
CKQ, tell me when to bounce out because look,
Simon, give him a second. Give him a second to finish his thought.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Carl. Really, I'm not a debative guy. I'm just saying to you is this. Keeping things simple. can keep the stress level down because it's not that much you have to put in. Worry about only the basics. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to add and follow, and it's too much. Simple. Tuna fish sandwich.
Say it again.
Come on.
Say the three things.
Tuna fish sandwich. How hard is it to make a tuna fish sandwich? Huh? A cup of tea.
All right. Okay. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is what you're talking about is quite anecdotal, and there's different types of level of different types of people. If you get a high-end woman, you can't be talking like that because she ain't gonna relate to that. Like if you need to be that guy that has a 2-bedroom house and an apartment in a high-rise building that's accommodating to a certain type of lifestyle, that's what you are. If you're the guy who's got the house and the porch and the front lane in some ratchet sort of neighborhood, and you want to drag this woman into that sort of situation and go, yeah, I'm going to look after you for the rest of your life, then that's you. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's your level. Understand your level. Cool. You know, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it's different for different people.
You know, rich people don't even dress rich, right?
Wait.
Poor people dress like they want to be rich. Rich people, they walk around dressing like the most brokest bums in the world. What are you talking about?
This sounds like a counseling session.
Hey, John.
Okay. All right. So I like what Carl is saying. I understand what Simon is saying. But like when you,
I love you, bro. I love these conversations.
When you get into relationships, and even before I ever met Carl, earlier podcasts, you can go back and watch them. I always said that the shit is too fucking. It's too hard, it's too complicated, but it's a hell of a lot easier than that. Because when he says, if you just give a fuck about him, right? That shit is a multitude of things under that. Like giving a fuck about him, speaks volumes. I mean volumes.
Simple things.
Because you can sit here and complicate this shit by giving this woman a fucking interrogation interview. If you ask her, hey, you got home at 4:00 in the morning last night, where were you? Do you really think she's gonna say, oh, I was out sucking dick? No, she's gonna fucking lie. She ain't gonna tell you the truth. Isn't this the same thing? Hold on. It's the same thing when you go through this dating phase. What the fuck do you think they're gonna ask you? Answer. How do you think you can ask a motherfucker 1,000 fucking questions. They may tell the truth about the ones related to their birthday, their fucking name, and how many kids they got. All verifiable fucking things. You can take a woman who fucked 6,000 motherfuckers, move her to a different city, and she can be whoever the fuck it is she wants to be because nobody knows her that. She run across your ass, and you're like, well, what do you do? Well, I'm a CNA right now, but I want to be a nurse. Knowing this bitch got 2 felonies. But you don't know that.
Simon, I'm gonna give you.
Simon, I'm gonna give you face value. Come on, man.
Let me give you something for free. Let me give you something for free. Simon, carry $100 bill with you. I broke up 16 relationships before the pandemic on the experimentation. I walked up to random couples, anybody that was together more than a year, and I walk up to them and say, "Listen, bro, I'm gonna give you this $100 bill. All you got to do is answer 3 questions. Now, if you've been all up in that pussy, these questions should have no problem if you plan on being with her long term. But if you get one answer wrong, you don't get shit."
Send me that clip. What I'm saying is,
hold on. Here's the question. Pay attention to the question. Pay attention to the 3 questions I'm gonna give you that you can try on your side of the fence to anybody that's been together more than a year. It's guaranteed. Bro, what's her blood type? What food or medication she's allergic to? Why she's not a beneficiary on your life insurance? 3 simple questions that if you plan on being with that woman long term and you've been all up in that pussy for more than a year, you should know that shit like her birthday. Otherwise, you're wasting time and space. Try that shit. You're going to see for yourself. A lot of couples don't have that. They don't know that.
I understand that a lot of couples don't.
And it falls
At the
under
same
the
time, you
category
guys
of
are
giving a
supposed
fuck
to be
about
men.
it.
Are you gonna allow me to speak? You guys are supposed to be men. You're supposed to take care of that shit. All that shit's bullshit. Like what you're talking about is some insecure bullshit. At the end of the day, it's like it is. It's some insecure bullshit. Like women want to be provided for. If you're not, look, unless it's some higgly giggly sort of, you know, I'm gonna sort of like have a little fumbling, tubbly sort of time with you. Don't
just
play.
made his point.
Don't play.
Wait a minute, did you just say it's insecurity and
No, he just
love?
made your point inadvertently. He didn't mean to. I promise you, he wanted to disagree with you, but he just made your fucking point.
I hope so.
If I'm supposed to provide for her, that's during while I'm here, and if I give a fuck about her when I'm not here. So if I don't have her as a beneficiary on my life insurance, I don't really give a fuck about her.
Whole problem is that you're not taking responsibility as a man. It's like, this is the thing. It's like you want to complain all day long. Like, how does that look to a woman? That's crazy.
I know I got a lot of alcohol in this house, but I don't drink.
I've got sisters and I've got a daughter. Okay, right? And at the end of the day, you can say what the fuck you want. I've got sisters and a daughter, and at the end of the day, any one of them that I'm introducing them, if it was a man, I'm like, look, he's got to take care of that shit. Now, you can negotiate in between. Like, say, okay, you could have a job, you could go, and that could pay for her dresses and her kicks and swags and whatever she wants to do, like her jewelry or whatever. Like, but ultimately, when women walk into that situation, they need to be provided for. This is no longer a talking point. It should be reality. It's like women need to be provided for. It doesn't even matter.
Is it automatic? Let me ask you something, Simon. Is it automatic or is it earned?
Automatic.
Bullshit. See, that's
I'll
your
tell you,
problem.
I'll tell you why. Because
hell no.
I'll tell
You're running with the simple association today, aren't you?
I'll tell you why. This is not some red pill shit. Well, I'll tell you why. Because, you know, I spend every day with my daughter and I treat her like a princess. Okay? So the thing is when she comes out of school and all of that sort of stuff, and she walks out of my household and she's like at whatever sort of adult age she's supposed to be, she's going to expect that from whoever she walks into the next household into. And I will be damned if I have some man turn around and speak to her the way you've spoken to me about how women should be treated. And I'm not saying it on a personal level. I'm just saying you may have dealt with women like that.
Do you know how many fathers lie to their daughters? Do you have any clue?
That's irrelevant to me. I'm just saying.
No, it is very relevant. Because you're telling me that when she leaves your house, she has an expectation that has nothing to do with reality.
That's not what I said.
Well, guess what?
That's not what I said. I didn't say she has an expectation. I said I'll be damned if she walks into a situation where it's like she's dealing with something that she's not used to. Because
expectation.
This is what happens.
Standard.
This is what happens. And this is the dysfunction. Okay? And it's not anyone's fault. It's not our fault as men. It's not women's fault. Right? I'm just saying. Right?
You know, 70% of your time with a child is to teach her how to be a wife.
Whatever. You may have
Yeah, okay.
Listen.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. Whatever, you right.
Okay, I'll retract that statement.
Yeah.
I'll retract the whatever. Say what you need to say. But all I'm saying is just try to understand to an extent that if you have a daughter, you're bringing her up in a certain type of way, and the expectation is that whoever comforts her, covers her, when they leave that household, they're gonna have the same expectations. So that's all it is. Like, and you can't all this other in between stuff. Like, I understand like people get like ghettoized and they may fall between the cracks and stuff. But if you're like parents, we do the best we can. and we can't sort of foretell how our children are going to be. But I'm just saying you can't treat women like that, because women ultimately have been dealt like that.
Okay, so real quick.
Oh God.
Unique, Chris. You guys have been hearing everything. We'll start with you, Unique. Yes.
I'm glad you did
that. I want to hear with you, Unique.
Come on.
What am I?
So responding to everything you've just heard.
I don't know what was going on there. I kind of got lost. But it seems like he couldn't be specific about what you said about women that was derogatory, and then he agreed with you about protecting and providing. So I don't know what he was talking about. But as far as what about how relationships should be, is that the topic?
Yeah, about how relationships would be between men and women. I guess essentially what they were talking about. How men should be towards women. Chris, what do you think?
Go ahead. Yes, please.
Move the spotlight quick.
Thank God for Chris.
I think both sides, I can't say that. There wasn't much sense in most of that conversation, but I could see what both sides were saying. I do see the issue with the conversation about the simps. I do think there's a lot of confusion about what a simp is. I think that it used to be fairly clear, like if a woman is not interested in you, or her only interest in you is based on simply what you can provide for her, but not you as a person, right? Like that, and you continue to give her whatever it is that she wants despite your own personal happiness and satisfaction, right? That's being used was the general term, and then it's evolved into the simp term. So I understand that, but I understand what Simon was saying. So I was watching another panel not too long ago, and they're having a similar conversation, and it does seem as though men that are just generous and fair can often be lumped into that simp category, and that can be problematic because it's creating this issue where men are confused, like they don't really know how to treat women, and women don't know what to expect from men because they feel like men are being told not to do things that are going to make them feel good as well. So I do think that it creates a pretty large divide. In terms of expectations, I understand what Carl was saying about having a woman earn provision and protection. Not every woman deserves to be protected and provided for. Some women will lead men to their death, literally. Like men, like so you can't really protect women that can't be protected, that don't want to be protected. And if you do protect them, you're putting your own life at risk. That's kind of going against the point of protecting them. Like you're protecting this woman so you both can create children, so your DNA can live on, right? But I do understand that as you're raising your child, your daughter, your son, you're kind of giving them the life that you expect them to have bare minimum when they go into the world on their own, right? Like you want to have a daughter and then expect her to marry a man, that's less than you as a good father, right? And then same with a mother and her son, you expect your son to have a wife that's at least as good as you were as a wife, right? Assuming you were a good wife. So that just goes along with like hypergamy, right? Like you provide this lifestyle for your child. When your successor comes, you want them to provide what you have, if not more, for your child, right? So I think a lot of it made sense. I think the issue is translation, right? I do think that there are two different generations trying to tackle similar issues, but those issues have evolved quite a bit in the last 30 years.
Oh, hell yeah, they did.
John, I see you had your hand up.
Yeah, man, listen. these a woman defines how a man is going to treat them.
The biggest influencers.
Based on how she treats herself. And you should not go into a relationship trying to do a whole lot of changing and rearranging. How she presents herself to you, you need to digest what you can accept and what you can't. And if it's too much that you can't accept, move the fuck on. Because even in the comments, I was looking, because a lot of women just don't get it. You know, I saw the comment, those 3 questions don't mean nothing. Really? And this is why men defend their fucking spouses.
Hold up, Doc. They'll be sitting in the GoFundMe line. Don't worry about it.
You mean to tell me if a nigga that you fucking on a day in and day out basis don't know your fucking blood type, you get in a fucking car accident, you don't have no fucking ID, he don't give a fuck if you live or die. What's her blood type? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've been fucking her for 4 years. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I know her birthday. Let's hope it's AB. Let's hope it's a recipient. Let's just pray for that. All right? But this nigga telling you he fucking love you, how does he love you? If he could be one of the reasons that you fucking die because you can't fucking speak for yourself. You're fucking unconscious. Then the life insurance. This nigga telling you, I'm gonna be with you, boo, forever and ever. You see the fucking life insurance has got his kids, or better yet, most niggas, they mama on that motherfucker.
I see motherfuckers don't have it at all.
You ass out. You ass
GoFundMe. We only raised $700. It's been 2 weeks.
What was the third question? What was the other question? Blood type. And what was
blood type? What medication and food she's allergic to?
There you go. Medication and these are the fucking questions. These are life-saving questions, nigga. These are life-saving questions.
You can't even get married if you don't know these 3 answers.
And you
so what are you doing?
Oh, that don't mean nothing.
That don't mean nothing.
That women really fully do not understand when a motherfucker love them, when they really care about them. They don't understand. They don't get it. Only thing you get is what the fuck is he doing right now?
That's it.
How is
like a microwave? Like a microwave.
Moment, bro. That's crazy as hell. But you will fuck this nigga every fucking night, and he don't know the answers to them damn questions.
What you gonna say, Chris?
So you're saying that you can't marry a person if you don't know the answer to those? Like, what was the beneficiary question again?
The 3 questions again are. These are questions that relate to you being with someone long term. If you've been involved sleeping with them for a year or more. What's her blood type? What food and medication she's allergic to, and why she's not a beneficiary on life insurance. If you've been inside of a woman's vagina for 2 years and talking all that willy bobo crap, plan on getting married, even got kids with her, don't tell me you don't have the answer to them 3 questions, but you want me to believe it's something long term. This is the proof that you don't plan on. You never went to a GYN appointment with her. You never found out. Everything is I don't know. Find out. That's your job as leader, protector, and provider.
And just for the record, the woman that I'm gonna marry, I know all them 3 answers. I know the questions. She's allergic to fucking fish. She's allergic to fish. She does have hypertension, but if she manages what she eats, she don't have to take the medication. All right. The only thing is she's not a beneficiary on my life insurance policy because she hadn't moved over here yet, and we ain't got married, so she's not insurable. She can't be the beneficiary over there where she is until she come over here.
Is it even smart to make someone a beneficiary if you're not married to them yet?
Yes.
For most men?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Collateral is a motherfucker. Let me tell you something. We have now moved to where if you walk around, the average child don't even have life insurance. People are not taking things seriously. That's why GoFundMe is so easy in the Black community.
Beneficiary. Life insurance is 100% important. I'm saying you make the beneficiary. Are people going to make marital decisions based on whether or not they're a beneficiary on their potentially future spouse's insurance?
Well, let me ask you something. If I plan on being with you long term, my actions should match my mouth, right?
So I should have a ring on my finger. We should have a date.
Ring, swing don't mean shit. Other things to support the ring.
I guess. Whatever works.
I don't know if that works. I mean, like, you need to be in a position where you're potentially going to be married as such, or be married before, like, all the insurance and all the other rest of the stuff kicks in. Because how does that work? I mean, are you, if you're like single, I mean, on the tick sheet you're single, right? Whether you're living with this person or not, whether you're sort of ducking them down or not. So it's like, unless you get to the point where it's like, we're actually sort of making this formal, it's a problem because no one recognizes it.
If you actually care about your actions that much, number one, this first decision is you wouldn't be sleeping with this woman anymore, because you would understand that sleeping with her and not being married to her probably isn't the best decision for both of your futures, and is putting your future children that you're putting yourself at risk of having at a disadvantage. So if you're really looking at actions to that great of a level, you'll be number one.
We can't apply 1960, 70 to today.
Why not? That's not just 1960s and 70s. That's the Bible. That's religion.
We can't apply that today.
It's not application.
You can't apply it today. I'm sorry. Let me.
Married household to today.
You can't apply it today.
Married today because it's 2022.
And we got problems. Men have to make sure, first of all, that you're a woman and not a man. Second, today in 2022, last month, they successfully transplanted a uterus inside of a man. So guess what? You ladies have the now benefit of when you go inside of a club or a function and meet a guy, you better hope he doesn't have what you have. This is a different era.
You've been sliding your penis inside this woman for 2, 3, 4 years. You don't know if she's a woman by now, but you know her blood type. She's on your insurance. And you need to learn, but you know if she's a woman. You should have married her by now. It's been 4 years.
Carl, out of interest, like your prospective partner, next partner, how do you approach that? Just out of interest.
I mean, his next girlfriend.
Oh, right? Yeah. What are you bouncing?
Yeah, homosexual term. That man's
yeah. No, like, because I'm interested because it's like, obviously it's just a next generational thing. So it's like, how do you approach that? Like with all these ups and downs, like in terms of what we're discussing, because
You see why I said before about keeping things simple, because now you have more things to be careful of and watch for and think about than you did beforehand when things were simple. When you met the girl, she gave you your first and last name. You went to the house, you picked her up, you see how she lived. It's simple. Parents met each other's parents, all of that. You see how complicated it got since then? Right now, people don't know who's who and what's what. It looks like a man, but he got a vagina.
I agree with that, but what I'm asking you is, how do you approach it now? Like, given because I'm at a certain age, right? And I'll probably be your age at a certain time, and people watching, young bloods, whatnot. So it's like, how do you approach that? Because it's like, I'm taking it in. I'm like, this is an older, this is an elder, this is an OG.
Okay,
so I'm like,
I'll tell you this. To approach it, move around, visit different places. What state you in now?
Here in the UK.
Okay, get a ticket, go to New York, go to California, go to Canada. And you'll see the big difference of why I'm saying what I've been saying all this whole broadcast. Everywhere you go, it's a different mindset. It's a different click. It's a different way of doing things. You have to adjust, adapt, and accept wherever you fit in. Because how it is in Cali is not the same way in New York.
Or in Alabama.
UK and Cali. Exactly.
Alabama is more traditional. You
exactly. So you might leave UK and go to Alabama, and a white girl might take to you in 3 days and marry your ass and serve you better than a Chinese woman. But then you go to New York and you're gonna be scared of women for the rest of your life.
I appreciate
that.
I appreciate that. What I'm asking you is, from your personal perspective, how do you approach it? Not like generally, like I understand that sort of spectrum in terms of like anywhere you go, there's I don't even want to start singing songs. But I'm just saying, like anywhere you go, it is that. But I'm just saying, like, as an OG right now, like it's like, how do you go about that? Because it's like I'm thinking.
I don't. Me personally, I don't.
So you're not looking.
I don't.
You're not
because I don't have to.
Are you? So you don't. You're not looking.
I don't because I don't have to.
Okay. That's just interesting.
On that note, I definitely want to continue this conversation again next week. We're definitely going to dive into it. I'm going to throw some more questions at you guys because all of you guys have different views, very different views, and I definitely want to expand a lot more on that.
Okay.
But as for today, we're about to hit that 3-hour mark. We're well past what I wanted to be here for, but you guys were cooking. You guys were cooking, so gotta let that rock. But we're gonna close out our panel the usual way. We got Chris.
Hi everyone.
Yay!
Chris, the Blooming Ebony. You can find me here on YouTube at the Blooming Ebony, also on Instagram at the Blooming Ebony. I hope you enjoyed this show. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for CKQ Podcast, and I will see you here next week. Have a great night and happy blooming.
We got Unique. Unique is the knight. She's gonna find it in a couple seconds. There she is.
Hey everybody, make sure you hit like and subscribe, hit the subscribe button. We are also simultaneously broadcasting on Married Ladies Opinions, YouTube and Facebook as well. Make sure you subscribe to those pages as well. CKQ Clips on Instagram, CKQ Podcast on Instagram. As far as what I didn't get to give my opinion on, I feel like one of the things he did say, he did ask y'all, have y'all ever been a simp in your life? And I feel like you ain't just be born knowing how women are. So I feel like he's right. Like everybody has been a simp in their life, or everybody has to come to some shit from another partner in their life before they got where they was. It's just how you, to me, it's how you learn from it, get through it, change that if you don't like it, keep it if you do, and just be happy, live your life. God bless everybody.
We got a doctor.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Y'all can find me at behavioral_consultant on IG. And for some closing notes, Simon was actually right about London. He was right about what he said. So I just I was going to address it earlier, but then he triggered me and I want to get at his ass about something else.
Before you give him his props. All right.
I'm going to give him his props, you feel me? Kind of like a farewell. All right, motherfucker, you was right. You was right.
Yeah, fuck you, but you're right.
The media portrays it one way, and that makes sense because they're always portraying something one way. But he was actually right. It's not as prevalent as I thought it was, and so yeah, I might come to the UK sometime and find Simon ass. Yeah, buddy, you. Tell me, you better be hospitable too. All right.
You got Simon.
Hey.
You on mute, Simon.
You muted yourself, buddy.
Yeah, I'll do that. I appreciate you, CKQ, and the whole panel. you can catch me at Simon Hectic YouTube. Just Google Simon Hectic, you'll get that. Yo, you guys be doing some stuff over here, man. I have some real conversations, so that's why I tune in, and I appreciate you. Have a good night, good evening, good afternoon. I'm out. 5,000.
And we got Carl.
All I can say is call Chef on Instagram, but best advice I love giving people, please treat your time more valuable than your vulnerability, because you can't take your vulnerability to your grave, and time is very limited. So use it wisely. And again, I have to say this, when it comes down to the brother man, Simon, first, I want to address Unique first. Unique, you're not born a simp only because if you're raised by a bunch of men raising boys to be men, you don't have no room to be a simp because they're already teaching you how to be leaders and husbands. That's something that's missing today. And Simon, like I said, get out more, travel more, and now you can get the chance to see that the world is bigger than what you think, and it will change your perception and viewpoint. Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We go live every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It has been a fantastic, amazing show. It started off with religion and its importance in this society, and it spun off into something real crazy. But I'll tell you this, we're going to finish that conversation next week. We're going to touch a lot more on it, and I hope to see all of you guys on it. If you haven't, guys, already, to the panelists, do me a favor. If I don't have your email, please drop it in the private chat. Simon and Carl, I believe you guys. Yeah, so drop it in the private chat, please. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fun, fantastic, great show. And we shall see you next week. Bye.
If we're doing everything right, I think we should be vetting our wives, like go to their parents, go to their fathers.
They know they shouldn't have let me start speaking my mind in the booth. Start speaking the truth. Might get shot.
I think you're just saying, okay, actions have consequences, and I'm not going to support this person's actions. Like, you don't have to cancel them and say, like, I'm never, I hate you.
Innocent lives have to die.
I. But the whole thing is men are I also. That man was on the other side doing the exact same thing, and his decision with his eyes was to walk away.
Inside your soul.
Now we can paint the perfect picture without belittling each other. Cause under God's system,
we are equipped to handle that responsibility. But not every man is fit to handle that responsibility.
I've done seen Flint, Michigan,
and it's just being
cities. They pissing in project buildings that got a roof that leaks, resulting in missing ceilings. Hard to sleep. Children going to schools dealing issues deep.
So I think society does make it more difficult for short men, but I don't think that it's impossible that they can find someone.
And expecting you to do your part. It ain't hard to see they trying to keep black in the back, just like Rosa Parks. Cops shooting blacks as if they get a token from God. School rob you with needed resources.
We gotta have weaker vessel and the more vulnerable.
Absolutely, 100%.
You don't look at the man like, oh, poor son, you were violated. No, you like, bro.
And nobody.
They shift my stick like some cars. And when you're lonely in your darkest thoughts come, I know it's hard, but God shines his light on all that play their part, and it's the start.
Put myself in a situation where I can only rely on a man. Like if I'm married and being a stay-at-home mom, I need to have a backup in case anything happens. I can't only rely on him. You know what I'm saying?
A flower will grow once you plant the seed inside your soul.
Poet, and the best part of me shows it. Here to speak the message of what is known, but not what it takes to expose it. Listen closer as I take you on a mental path. See divisions, the math, hoping we clash on lower levels, just like in the past. Before we begin to see spared lives, keep in mind the first 3 letters of unity starts with you and I. And maybe then we can all thrive, changing the narratives of our lives, finding belief from inside. We gotta come together, different feathers, and we fly together, despite any weather, evolving up forward, just like propellers, using negatives to fuel positives. How we change the mark, just like taking the devil devil's flames just to warm the coldest heart. Mama knew it from the start. DC mode would be a spark to lead the light that works its way out, illuminating through the dark. Funny cause my skin is dark despite the stereotypes that exemplify brilliance, cause I found that genius within my mind.